Welcome.
Welcome to Punches. Come on. You had one job there.
Welcome to Dice Revolution, our Dungeons and Dragons stream.
Yeah.
Sorry, can someone take over for a second?
We're here with the gamers today, and someone is going to give a game recommendation
It's
later
me
on.
this week!
Oh, okay, so nobody important.
Yeah. So at the end of this stream, I'll be given a video or board game recommendation.
Has to be
Haven't
rat
thought of it yet.
related.
What?
Has to be rat related.
Today's
No,
theme,
I don't know any rat
rats.
games.
Wasn't that one Stray, the rat?
Huh?
No.
Stray.
Stray's the cat.
That's a cat.
Close.
I mean, there's probably a
One
one for it.
consonant
Close
off.
enough.
Anyone recommended Dishonored yet?
Hey, stop
No.
giving away. I'm writing these down. You can't do them anymore.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good.
You don't know any of those.
I don't want to recommend Dishonored anyway. I didn't like it.
What about Dishonored 2? What's our policy on sequels again?
No.
No sequels.
Saying a game
Is the
cancels out the entire
entire
franchise.
So if you don't like one of the games in the franchise, you're not allowed to say
Someone said Mario.
it. You'd be cutting out
Alrighty,
a
every
lot.
Mario game is
Every
on.
Mario game is now off the table.
Mario game. Okay.
Anyway, welcome. Yes. We play Dungeons and Dragons, not the other one that I said earlier. That was just me having a mental breakdown.
I'm leaving. I didn't sign up for this.
Yes, fuck this shit, man.
Let's jump into a recap. Last session, the party continued their reconnaissance mission to gather intel at the tower that they were infiltrating. Not very stealthily. The situation was quite dire, and they were joined by Solomon, who eventually fell in combat through a very close resurrection ritual. Solomon was revived, and the party made their way collecting the discs, and a lot of them died as they jumped out of the building, but with death ward at hand.
Yeah, a concerning number of us just pancake.
They managed to elude the jaws of death. They took these discs with the data stored on them to the patron of this mission, Stent, Savannah Stent, who helped them decode the discs, and they were each given some information and access to one additional question on each topic. We pick up today with everyone having leveled up to level 12 and having taken a long rest. If you haven't marked off a long rest, do so now.
We were heading back from Sten's office, I'm pretty sure.
I think we were, yes.
I
Yeah.
think you made it, but
Did we?
I think you made it back to the ship.
Well, that was the process of, so we can say that we've made it back to the ship at this point, but that was, I'm pretty sure where we left off.
Okay. Well, we pick up today with, I believe, plans to head to Naya.
Yes. I mean, if anyone has anything to do, this is the last chance to do it.
So what was the context for the Naya thing? Because I know that you guys talked about it, and I don't think any of us have heard about it yet, have we?
You haven't heard about it, but everyone else has.
Nice.
Because you weren't here.
That's
So
all good.
essentially, Trey received word that her home is currently under attack, and the kids and other people that work there are, their lives are kind of under threat at the moment, and Trey's going.
That's pretty critical. The whole thing she left to do was to stop threats against their lives. So now she's not there when there was one.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of good
So-
guilt building up there. I'm glad to hear.
It's fine. As I said, it's gonna be okay.
Right, yeah. Okay.
So, yes, that is the reason.
And we collectively went on the mission before
Before.
that was announced, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, the mission thingy was talked about after Trey made it aware that she would be stepping out, and everyone was like, well, we're going. So,
Yeah, I was going to say, Solomon would have absolutely been like, oh, good, finally a chance to get Trey to stop doing this shit, just like I've been trying with Solomon.
For Solomon? You?
Solomon would love to stop doing this. He's busy, but, you know, he can't retire. There's work to be done. Okay.
So,
Sounds good.
yes, that is context to catch up to speed.
I'm dragging Lapis back down into the meeting room, and she's got several bandages like around different parts of her body now.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
I go, I told you you need to be careful when you're handling this thing. If you don't hold it just the right way, the recoil is gonna send it in wild directions. Okay?
That's very nice. I mean, I appreciate you looking out for me, Tywin, but counterpoint. My aim is very good.
I know it is. I can see the potential. It's just the way you're holding the thing. You're holding it as if it's like your dagger. You know, you can't do that.
You're making this too easy for me, Tywin. I've got words, I've got phrases on the tip of my tongue, please.
I don't know what that means, and I don't want to know. I'm just trying to make sure you don't shoot your own foot off, you know?
Yeah. So, I guess, I don't know what to say. I guess
I'm sorry I went for 4 hours out training. I didn't mean for that.
4 hours.
0 crows left in the sea.
Well,
She didn't hit a damn one!
I was missing on purpose.
That's how I know I've got good aim.
She did keep hitting my fucking fingers somehow. Didn't even know how it happened. And you kept giggling!
I've been hearing some complaints about dying brothers and sisters. What's going on?
Okay, who fucking squawked? Who talked? Who was it?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, yeah. You better fucking watch out.
You better fucking watch
You have
out.
to bring a fucking bird to life? Why a bird?
He sees things for us.
I see things for you.
Well, you can't fly.
I've told them all to never fly
Yeah,
past
yes
this
I
ship
can.
again.
Have you seen my eagle pick me up?
That's true.
I'm flying all the fucking time. Also, we're on a flying machine. We don't need a fucking bird.
The flying machine's kind of pretty visible. We have glowing dots under us.
I have been working hard to make
No,
sure
that's
I don't
my
hit a
fault.
single bird. I'm hitting targets. I'm hitting the sky.
I mean, yeah, admittedly, you hit every other thing you tried to hit except for the birds.
Because unlike you, I have a heart.
Birds? Birds are
She's got a
fucking
point.
target practice.
Listen, it's different when we're under attack and someone's trying to kill me. But these birds aren't trying to kill me, so I'm not gonna hit them. Unless we need food. And even then, I'm not gonna be shooting down birds for food, Tywin.
Public enemy number bird.
Okay, man, that
How
doesn't
would
even
you-
rhyme with one.
How would you like it if I started shooting rats?
I wouldn't care. I kill rats all the fucking time. What are you talking about?
Aren't they like your pets or something? Don't
And
you,
they
like,
do stuff for
Aren't
me.
you like the master of rats?
I'm not the master of rats. I use rats just because they're fucking everywhere. I would use whatever animal was around to get what I needed to get done.
But your room's full of rats.
Not by choice. I'll tell you that. They get drawn to my clothes because I don't wash them very often.
I'm walking away. Lapis, as soon as she hears that, Lapis is like, I'm out of here.
Ever since Luft left, I haven't gotten around to washing my shit.
What does that have to do with Luft? I'm so confused.
She would get on me about it a lot.
You never asked the
Tywin
crew
insult.
that cleans. You never gone up to the crew that like clean stuff and given them. your
As a
washing?
water ganassi, Tywin can actually just rub his clothes against Luft.
You mean
Lapis.
Oh, it was laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
You
It's
could have
Luft.
He
asked
dries them
edge
out with
nasty.
Luft.
Ah,
Washing machine, dryer.
right, I see.
Lapis canonically washes the clothes because she's in the water. See? Every time, actually, every
Never
time.
dirty, but
I
always
do
a
the
little
washing.
damp.
Your clothes are never in there. I see Teely's. I see.
I'm using them.
Don't you have any other clothes? That
Not really. I've got like 2 sets.
It's like 4. But
Why would I need more than that? I'm only wearing 1 pair at a time. I'm not. I don't know if you know this. I'm not going on many dates.
This is a shopping episode. I'm going to take you shopping
Okay.
around the place.
No,
How much-
thank you.
how much
We,
gold
we
do you-
literally have a life or death situation. We don't have time
It
to
can
shop.
wait.
No,
can
it can't. No, it fucking can't.
How many life or death situations have we like stopped?
This is a
Like,
bit
20?
more important than some of our life or death situations.
No, it isn't. Come on.
You were just saying that birds' lives matter so much. You're gonna sacrifice fucking
We're the
children?
main characters. So
We are not
life
getting
or death
better in this
situations.
We are not getting better than this.
So she just
But
genuinely believes
I
that.
would like to actually do
She
something before we
would.
leave. It's just a flavor thing.
She
but I want to
really
make sure it's done.
Okay.
I just want to like send a letter to Garster at some point before we leave, just letting him know that I'm leaving and I don't know if I'll be back and I'm going to this place.
Easy enough.
I'm assuming this is like the morning, right?
And I just want to go and get some material components for guards and wards. The costly one is a silver rod worth 10 gold.
Oh, so I'm sorry for getting that.
No, you're all good. An additional reminder, actually. Last session, you had the little pyramid boy read some of your auras,
Yes.
and he could put you in contact with your daughter.
Yes.
So what did you want to do? You want to get the guards
So
and
what
wards?
did you want to do?
Yeah,
Guards and
guards and wards, materials components. So that's mainly a silver rod worth 10 gold.
Yeah, easy done.
Yeah.
Just mark off the 10 gold.
I'd like to briefly visit the Temple of Halor, and then the other thing is, so what stage are we at with our whole plans with Alethor and disrupting the Order again? Have we done?
We're abandoning them to go.
Today is
to go.
is 27 days till the meeting.
Okay, but have we done the whole raid on their meeting or something so that we can use it for the propaganda campaign, or is that ages ago that I've forgotten?
The meeting was the thing that Teely
I thought so.
infiltrated.
Yeah. Okay, so we didn't have anything else set up then. No, I just need to do like just sort of boring admin background stuff with them. By the way, I should let you know I am officially ordained as a Justice of the Peace.
Huh? What does that mean?
Well, and this is me just explaining it because I don't remember how I was going to segue into this. Before we so politely invaded that tower, I was in meetings with Alethor, and I have received his endorsement to act as an official justice within this city. I am not technically a member of the police force, but I have similar jurisdiction and powers.
So, like, what can you do now?
Solomon just pulls out a badge.
Okay. What does that do?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm
I'm impatient. Come
I
on.
can effectively act as an officer of the law,
Okay.
including rallying men and directing the state's police.
Like kicking down doors and shit?
I believe I could do that anyway.
No, I know, but like legally.
I suppose, yes.
Solomon's
Awesome.
a cop.
Solomon's a cop.
Hooray.
Just thought you'd love that one, yeah.
Shaking the damn head.
Well, great. Great. That gives us more resources to use.
Precisely. As is, I have left instructions as to further our plans with the Order while we see to this business in Naya.
Pretty crazy that we've gone from attempted assassin of the.
We
leader.
is not you. You do not get to touch
Everyone
that.
here.
No, no. I just thought you'd all love that one, especially you two. You're now hanging out with a cop.
Oh, my friend's a cop.
I mean,
Thanks.
the official term is
Hooray.
arbiter, however, it is very similar in that to the term of the police.
Is Vanta aware of the capacity to change the sound of one's voice using magic?
We've seen it before,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Have we? I'm not sure if I have seen it
The-
personally.
I mean, the tiefling person would have.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the tiefling speak as Rosalind.
That's true.
And Solomon regularly sounds like a small thundercloud.
That's true, but that's just louder as opposed to sounding like someone else.
It also, like, it echoes, it booms. But you're right, it doesn't sound like
It's
someone
just
else.
more of the same
Yeah,
as
yeah,
opposed to something different.
It's just turning up the dial on Solomon.
Yeah.
Crank up the Solomon.
Trey, when exactly did you hear from the children that you care so much for? I've been thinking.
Let me go back in the notes.
It was through the pyramid, wasn't it?
Nope.
It wasn't?
This was like a big day of like us getting told things. Oh, this is a lot of notes actually.
It's
Hang on.
about the same time that
been
you
writing
heard
on this
about
one.
Augustus and
I know, that's what I'm thinking.
2 days ago. I think it's 2 in-game days ago from my notes.
A couple of days ago, I heard a voice in my head. The voice was someone I cared about deeply, who I thought was dead. And I cared about them deeply, and I haven't forgiven myself for what I let happen to them. And to hear them reach out to me at that time, it made me want to put things right. I wanted to go help him, but I knew that what we are doing here is more important. When was it that you heard from your children? Was it a few days ago? Do you think it's possible that
They faked it.
as
The
a
order?
distraction to pull us away?
It could be possible. But I mean, I can't forget what I saw just then.
Nobody has no methods of contacting people far away? No
That
magic?
lighthouse was my lighthouse.
It seemed odd. Every other thing we saw in there was an act of protection. It seems out of place based on everything else there.
I don't know what to tell. I get the concern, but at the very least, I've got to check it out.
Do you know if any of the others were contacted the same way?
I haven't heard anything. Maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. I'm not sure. We can ask.
It may be worth asking.
Off you go then.
Have any of you recently heard from a loved one or someone you care about? Not face-to-face communication or anything else, but a vision. Something that calls for your attention away from where we are now.
No.
Nothing
The
like
only
that.
thing similar I can think of was the Gaians, but that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Did I describe to you guys Solomon's issues with a rogue warforged for some time ago?
But that happened that same session that I got contacted.
Yeah. But I think I triggered it as well, like with a fallen wisdom save. Either way, Solomon says, I received a malicious divination from a rogue warforged who I intend to track and destroy at some point, but otherwise, the majority of those people in this world that I care about are on this ship. No.
Sorry? That you what?
He's working. He's busy.
What'd you say, Solomon?
Can you rewind that?
I said no.
Rewind
I
the
have not-
thing beforehand.
There is a rogue warforged seeking out and destroying those of my kind, I believe, in an effort to eradicate them as a species. From my understanding, they see us as a plague and not a living species which deserves to share each realm. It is an issue I have been tackling for some time, but it has not yet reared its head in a manner I can smite it.
Has this Warforged communicated with you in this way before? Or was it only a few days ago?
It has happened several times. I do not believe I reported it. It is all in relation to the destroyed Warforged you have seen brought to this ship.
I've seen messages on the Warforged.
They are for me.
No, but
It is a personal attack, I am told. As it stands, while it does threaten the lives of my brethren, it is not urgent, and I did not have time to distract myself from my work to see to it. I believe they are currently on X1, and therefore out of my reach as it stands.
Yet they have access to Warforged on Eris.
Indeed. I do not doubt their ability to travel between planes, but, as you said the last time I was contacted, It was from the other planet.
Do I know of anything on X1 about Warforged? To think other Warforged are plagues, any cults or groups like that?
Roll a
I do
history
not-
check.
If you ask Solomon, he would say, I do not believe this is the work of a cult nor organization. This is a rogue individual. Often, on awakening, Warforged are confused. They are as yet unused to sentience, and certain ideas or protocols
14.
or routines are engraved in their early minds. It becomes easy
definitely
for them
relate
to
to
generate
that.
fixations or patterns they cannot break.
You haven't heard of any cults or anything of the sort that would lead Warforged to kill other Warforged? No.
There hasn't been anything that's tried to get my attention, but that's mainly because there's nothing to really drag me away from. This is like my place, so there isn't really anyone to try and...
Sorry, I've talked to Sasha, but she's fine, and there's no one else really out there for me.
It was, I believe, yourself.
Myself and Trey around the same time.
Around the
Which
same
I
time.
think is.
I mean, I got contacted by 2 people. It was very quick succession, so... And the first contact seemed pretty legitimate.
Actually, this might be related. I was talking to... what was his name? The researcher, the friends with Stant that we met, yes, Dr. Gilly,
That's it.
about, and he suggested there might be we might have people spying on us or watching us in other ways, and that won't be surprising at all. There could be multiple groups, the Gaians, the Order, whoever this might be from.
I don't mean to be narcissistic or anything, but if I'm being self-aware, I've proven myself time and time again to the Order to be someone with a very easy to manipulate motivation. If they were doing this to us, why wouldn't they do it to me? As far as they know, I'm very easy to get separated from the group. And it's only one person they need to quote-unquote threaten.
You made it clear that it was who this person was that contacted you, didn't you? Or did you just say it was one of your past friends?
I didn't say who it was exactly.
They might
Wait,
be
you said
going
they were
after.
dead.
Dead. Someone I cared about, but
Yeah, I was gonna
someone I
say.
thought dead.
Sorry.
They might be going after Vanta, since she used to be with them. I don't know if they think they have any chance of bringing her back, but you're right. I don't know why Trey.
Tywin is correct. It is illogical for them to target either of you, given your distinct lack of prior conviction to these people, and the knowledge that your friend is indeed dead.
All your recent relations with the Order has been objectively negative.
I mean, they already have pretty much done it. If I wanted to stay. They have what I believe is the soul of a very important person to me, who no longer is here, as far as I was aware, until we had to fight them, not that very long ago.
I remember.
Yeah, you weren't there for that either.
No, I wasn't there for that either.
Look, I have all the motivation, I guess, to be manipulated to stay. Or leave, I guess. I mean, whilst you worked for the Order, I've known about them for a very, very long time.
Not all of us had that. What's the word? Advantage. Or mercy, even.
The person we thought they'd killed. They killed and they most probably took his body before I was able to go in and save him, and it was a very long time ago.
And we both know that no amount or kind of trickery is beneath them.
Why are you so serious about me changing my mind? Why?
Because I don't want the Order to win, I suppose.
Neither do I. And I have made it very, very clear, multiple occasions, that you don't have to come. No one has to go with me. The only statement I wanted to make was that I was going for a bit of time. Right? You're more than welcome to stay here and make sure that everything is running smoothly here. This is still important to me. I just can't shake this off. My whole drive is to make sure that when those kids get older, they are able to go out and adventure like I have, and the world is just a little bit safer. If I don't have them, then I'm sorry, I don't think I would be in the right place to do any of this anymore. I don't have a lot left of my own brain as it is. They're all I've got. I've got to go.
I know. Just seems as though most everyone else has to go as well. Because, as wonderful as it is, we've all grown to care for each other.
You're trying to convince the wrong person there, Vanta. She's not making any one of us go with her. We're all choosing to do that. So don't put it on her.
I saw how fast you made up your mind.
Yeah, and I'm sticking to it.
So what point is there in trying to convince you?
I'm just saying don't drag her down with you. You want to blame someone, blame me. I'll take it.
Are we really blaming each other?
I don't know, are we?
Just trying to...
I know what
do
you're
what's
trying to do.
best, I
We're
think.
all trying to do the same thing. Every single person on the ship is fighting for what they believe in. And what you believe in is taking down the Order. We respect that because that's part of our goal. But I think for basically every other person here, that is a side goal to our actual goal. Most of us is protecting the people we love. I don't pretend to know what everyone's motives here are. Perhaps there's something more to it than that. But as for me, I'm trying to keep this world safe for Sasha. But if me trying to keep the world safe for Sasha puts her in danger, I ain't doing it. It's the same with Trey. She's trying to protect the people that she cares about, and they come first. I bet Trey wouldn't care if the Order burned down the rest of the world, as long as the people she cared about were safe. And that's how I feel too. You've got your own goals, and that's fine. That's okay. And if you want to blame me for wanting to follow Trey into hell, then go ahead, blame me. But don't try to tell her she's making the wrong decision. I won't stand for that. You feel me?
I can't empathize with what you're saying. I can sympathize though. If I had my world back, the people I cared about, I think I would feel much the same way.
I'm sorry. I know you've gone through a lot as well. I'm not trying to turn us against each other, I promise. But this is important, okay? That's all it comes down to. This is something very important. Can you respect that?
Suppose so. I make no false statement when I say that I don't think it's right. I don't think I can convince any of you either.
Well, actually, this has been a little conflicting for me because all this talk about going to Trey's home to protect the people she cares about, I haven't thought about it because we've been here for so long, but I don't know. So a part of me doesn't want to leave because this is my home. This city is my home. And I've got people here I care about. And I'm actually a little scared to leave this place. Because what are the chances I come back and this place is, like, getting fucked up?
I understand that.
Because, you know, I got someone of my own here who...
Didn't you stow away on our airship?
I have someone who lives here who I care about. He might be in prison, but he's someone I care about. Alright? So we can talk about being stowaways and shit. But, you know, he's what I've got. If it wasn't for you guys, he's the only one I've got. Yeah, I ran away from someone who barely, like, was barely there. You know? So I've got some conflictions of my own.
Of course.
But I can't stay here and be by myself for this. And I know none of you are going to be convinced to stay here, so that's fine. But I don't want people assuming that everyone on the ship has the exact same sentiment because, you know, like you guys said, if it was, you know, everyone has their own thing they care about and mine's here. And I've been writing to him every day, asking how he is he safe, letting him know every time we go somewhere for too long that I'm leaving, but I'll come back. And I know he's fine. I've been giving him updates on the attack and stuff. Nothing confidential. But, you know, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Because I get it. Protecting what Trey loves. Because I'd like to do it. But I don't want people acting like everyone's just automatically on board.
Well, of course, and that was the point I was poorly trying to make, is that we're all making our own decisions. And if you think you need to stay here to protect that person that you care about, I'm gonna yell at anyone who blames you for doing so.
But I can't. Because I know me, and I can't do it by myself.
Would we be less anxious about doing this if some of us stayed behind and kept track of things? If Lapis would like to stay, I can too. I can keep in contact with Stent, use Mori to keep track of order activity, find ways to keep you guys informed.
I mean, it's not a great D&D strategy, but yeah, we
It's
would
not.
have...
Thought we weren't getting meta.
If you want to split,
Episode
you can
69, split the party.
Okay, so episode 69.
But I mean...
Episode
Next session.
But I don't...
How much more fucking around do we need to do to get to that?
This session, apparently.
Clearly.
If you want to split the party, you can split the party.
As a,
Between
as a
continents.
player, as a player, I'm not going to because I really don't want to have the trouble of that. But as a character, I feel like I need to like.
We've got a good DM. They can handle it. they'll balance it on the fly.
At the same time, this is a bit selfish, but I don't care. I'm gonna be able to go somewhere else. I haven't really had the privilege to like leave this place as much, and it would be nice to do something new, somewhere different. Yes, I know it's a horrible situation, but get to help people somewhere else, and I don't want to really give up something like that, you know? Helping people is what we should be doing everywhere when we can. That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Good, because I was scared for a minute I was going to start saying something uncomprehensible.
No. I think we're all on the same page. I really do. And if anyone,
if you want to all go, you can. If you want to split the party, you can do that. If you tell me what you want to do.
So what I'm asking is, Solomon, with your cult privileges, could you please, for little old Lapis, have people like taking extra care of like this
No.
place?
Get him out of jail. He's coming with us.
oh no, I see what you're saying. You want
not petition Solomon to free a criminal. I haven't reacted to the fact that she's been talking to one for this long.
You want extra security around
If we
your
can.
friend.
If we can't be here to protect the place, then at the very least we should have some extra protection.
If he's in a prison, he is already suitably protected.
I'm not asking
I've
for
broken
Garsta.
into some prisons before.
I'm not asking for Garsta. I know Garsta.
They're not that well protected.
He said.
They're protected from
But
the
I'm
people on
asking-
the inside.
I'm asking about the town itself, you know.
Undoubtedly, I have just been, and I think I mentioned this a second ago, I've just been meeting with Aether to discuss its ongoing security while we were away.
Counterpoint. I forgot.
I literally wrote counterpoints in my book already
Lapis
today.
counterpoints.
First word,
Solomon
counterpoint.
he finds a lot of this
Counterpoint,
illogical.
I'm a dumb bitch.
And, yeah, of course, bro, that's all I do. Protect
Oh yeah.
Rove that looks around the entire table like, that was
Thank
right
you so much.
context,
Lapis,
right?
I agree we have a very powerful presence, but while we are away, I am sure the Order will not entirely destroy the city. That being said, I would not put it beyond them.
We have. I think they're going to be reeling from the shit we've done to them lately.
Yeah, not to
They-
mention, like, you've got... I'm not going to give you the exact number, but you've got a pretty good, like, social standing amongst the city currently.
Better.
I reckon we bought ourselves time. This is the best time for this to happen if it was ever going to happen.
Don't worry, I've got a couple of things in the works. We'll be all good, gang. We'll be all good.
So yes,
So-
are we splitting the party?
This is the final decision before we start the engine.
What do you reckon?
don't
Does
wanna
any
split.
everyone has their own free will and nobody here will judge each other for their decisions.
Well, I mean, what
is
if we
anybody
just
staying
teamed up?
behind?
You could come with me, and I'll get you a badge as well, and we'll stay here.
Buddy cop movie. Buddy cop movie. But one of them hates the police.
Oh god.
A
This is the
jackboot
buddy-
license for me?
Yes, all you have to do is subdue civilians and oppress minorities. I'm told it's very effective.
Hang on a minute. Pause.
Baked
Time
into the
out.
contract.
Okay. In the interest of actually doing something,
In the interests of getting Jordan on board, are dwarves a minority?
I'm perfectly
Suddenly
comfortable.
I was like,
Oh yeah. Give me a badge too. Give me a badge.
Never mind, I'm
in the
saying,
interest of getting something
but
done, who is going to Naya? Just raise your hand.
I'm happy doing whatever causes the least trouble with the DM.
Don't change your decision based on what I'm capable of.
take the DM out of the brain.
Yeah,
I'm
Are
very,
you going?
No, I didn't-
very well.
I just
I've
wanna-
very much promised at some point to say, Trey, I'll always be there for you the same way I was there for that idiot. You got one big idiot. With
You got me.
Are you staying behind?
Nah, I can't afford to.
For flavor,
I
I just wanted to be
apologize.
like,
But
damn
next
it.
time we'll hold it
I just
strong
need
to our
to stick
principles.
near Solomon because I think you're the closest thing I have to not having forcefully teleported.
Oh yeah, you've
to-
got 6 days left on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Why?
hope for Tywin's sake that
yeah. I
the
need to
Order
talk to you
sees
about
through their
that in a
plans
bit.
Indeed.
and rids the world of magic. That is living on the magical flying city will be okay.
Trey, I fuck with you. That's why I want to help you.
Sure, they make a good
That's
point,
what-
Tyler. You
that's
should
what I'm
probably
trying to
move
say.
the door.
Well, with
somewhere.
that,
Hang on.
Now that the engine is starting,
Rosalind has started the engine up.
from here on out,
Good.
we are not discussing the decision anymore.
Got it.
They rolled really poorly.
Let's save some time, yeah.
The
I'm
decision has been made, and we're not going to talk about it from here on out. Whether it was a good idea or a bad idea, we've made our decision. Everyone had their opportunity. It's done.
Okay. One moment.
Yeah, because obviously Solomon's going to get to the lighthouse, which she holds like her entire core personality around, and be like, you know what? This is a fucking waste of time. I didn't need to be here. I could have been just hitting a bit of steel, and nothing would have been.
We literally get there.
I'm
They're like waiting for
pre-weathering
couple action.
storms.
Hey!
Hang on, I dropped something. I gotta like
Convince
turn around.
Alethyl to let me purchase property within the city, and I'll stay there.
All right.
to let you
So
purchase
you want to be
property.
a cop and a landowner.
Yes, preferably a landlord. I think I could make a lot of
happening
money
here?
renting out this.
Are you suddenly gonna get
What is
like?
happening?
No, Solomon, I've been wanting. Haven't I told you guys this for a while?
What do you
Solomon,
mean your light is broken?
have-
I want property.
That's
for a
not
long
my
time.
responsibility.
I need to own solid land that doesn't move around. Is what I mean, or at least doesn't move around like an airship.
You have?
I
just like.
I was actually gonna ask, do you have
Sorry,
access to the spell Forbiddance?
That's why I said I need land to do it on. Yes.
Yes, that's okay. So
Would
we
you-
are at the same conclusion.
Yes, I explained this to you last session, but I have a means to keep you in one place. You
Did
will
you
not.
explain in character or out of
I
character?
don't remember.
I
You want
think
me
it
to
was
do
out of
in
character.
I'm pretty sure I did it in character. However, Tilly, fear not, I have the means now been granted to me by Palor High Lord above, the great light of all, the lantern who guides us, Forge Father, he who stokes the heart of the coals, let us
Don't
be
worry, we
bound in
have
his
a
brightness.
few days travel to get through this.
Amen.
Would you like me to continue?
Amen.
Out of character, yes. We can fix this. I
Yes.
just need somewhere to do it, and a lot of time, and a little bit of money. A decent bit of
A
money.
That
little
should
bit of
be
money that
fine.
Tywin has over there.
Yeah, how much money do you need?
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Tilly.
I'm
Tilly's-
trying to be helpful.
I need 1,000 gold pieces and a month of uninterrupted
I can give
time.
you 1,000 gold pieces.
This forceful teleportation hopefully will only be a one-time thing and it won't be stuck.
Well, that's alright, I need to build a temple anyway, so.
Alright.
Get me land and I can fix all our problems.
If it's a
There's
forceful
a Paylor
teleportation,
shrine
why don't you
on the
hold on to
airship.
Lapis?
It doesn't work.
And then she'll
Why
refuse
not?
to go.
We
if you
established
don't
it needs to be a solid piece of.
In the same way that I can't hallow the airship, I can't complete the airship.
Okay, well, after that discussion,
We're flying again.
you guys take off. As you start making your way towards Naya.
As
Devon.
the ship takes off, I want to do just a thing.
Just wait.
Yes.
I
Yes,
need
yes,
it-
Ring.
I
What
need
would you
the
like to
ship
do?
to be away from the city to do this, but I want to just cast garden wards from the meeting room, and I want its effects to exclude us, and then
I assume the crew as well.
yeah, I'll get to that. So I'm gonna announce that
Get to that.
if you're seeing a bunch of smoke and strange floating lights, just say the word flatulence. Otherwise, you might
No
get.
reason to perpetuate that.
We have no reason to say it aloud because we can assume that we're being scryed upon.
I was going to say now it's worth it.
So you continue.
Yeah. To remove the hallucinations, just say the word flatulence. And if it ever happens again, just do the same thing. Thank you.
We couldn't change that password this time.
No.
It has to be the same one.
Yeah.
Luft lives on.
The magic won't work.
Yeah.
Baddie on the ship accidentally farts. Garden Wards cancels.
Lapis,
Yes.
I know I've been teaching you crossbow stuff.
Yes.
I was thinking maybe you could help me with something.
Of course.
I'm trying to do something that Sasha is always doing. She's always like getting out of my sight and I can never find her and shit. She's good at using people's blind spots and shit. And I found you do that a lot as well. Do you think you could just like give me some pointers on like
You
staying
want to
out of
learn how to
people's sight?
sneak like me?
A little bit.
Don't worry, Tywin. I will teach you the absolute best sneaking you've ever had in your entire life.
Alright.
Guaranteed. Sasha will be mind-bended by the mind-bending sneaking that I'm going to give you.
Alright.
Mine.
Sounds
Mind
master.
bended.
It's like one of those game shows where you have to like use one word specifically as much as possible.
I
Well,
just want to do that because I'm giving a lore reason why I can go invisible now.
Fair
you
enough.
can't you? Hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's
It's Nature's
Veil
It's the
now,
other
isn't it?
one, right?
It's Nature's Veil. Yeah. Epic. Well, Devon, can I get you to roll me a d20 for the first day of travel of, I believe, 4 or 5 days, I think.
This is going to be epic. 7.
7. Let me get my table. Okay. As you start to make your way towards Naya, even just on the first day of travel, you can see that the weather is becoming more and more turbulent. The winds pick up the ocean beneath you becomes more tumultuous. But your travel isn't impeded or helped, it just remains as is as you continue making your way towards Naya. If there's any, I know Stuart's mentioned some downtime stuff that he wants to do. If there's any downtime stuff that any of you want to do on the first day of travel, let me know now. This can include practicing something or...
I am preparing a letter.
Okay. Yeah, this can include practicing a new skill or like reading up on like doing research. You do have a small library on your ship, so if you want to research something, you can.
I think I've said it as well. This was ages ago though, but you know how I've got that little page turner from Luft that lets me read books overnight? I've been trying to learn for a very long time now Ignan.
I would say, yeah, like you spent enough time learning Ignan.
Getting there? Or okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say like you can conversationally hold Ignan, but you can read it.
Yeah. Good. That's all. Yeah. He can't talk it at all. He can just read it.
Yeah,
I don't remember which characters he uses. I don't remember which script he uses.
Primordial.
Primordial.
There you go.
Which I think is Dwarven script, or a subset of it.
Subset. Well, you can like specifically add Ignan to your faculty.
Okay.
Oh,
and you do your target practice in the mornings with her?
Yeah. We trade off between doing crossbow training and sneak training.
On the mornings you're doing crossbow training, Solomon comes out to join you. I assume you're still trying to shoot at birds?
I am, Lapis isn't.
I'm trying to shoot at targets if we have any, like, dummies.
No, I can probably construct you one of those, like...
Well,
There is a training.
the clay launchers?
Yeah, like a clay pigeon launcher, or just a similar one to that one thing from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which just shoots like a buoy out into the water and you try and shoot that.
You got some clay pigeons? That's perfect.
Dude. No, Solomon comes to join you. He has a crossbow, which is the same one you've seen ages ago on him, but it's just like sort of an arm-mounted thing, but he doesn't use it. He just sits there sort of very, very quietly, and you see him like moving his head. He doesn't have his faceplate on for once as well. Every other time he's had the full helmet of his adamantine suit on, but now he doesn't. He's just, you sort of see his eyes narrow at birds as he goes past. And that's about it.
Are you shooting them with your mind?
Wait, there isn't a human skull under there?
No, we're not. There's maybe bits of one, but I mean, then it's not his. He headbutted someone once.
Someone tried to climb into your suit and they never got back out. Right.
How dare you make me do this?
How dare!
I mentioned I went to the temple. Yeah, I mentioned I went to the temple of Peril.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing anyone else wants to tackle on the first day, can I get Stuart to roll me AD20?
Yo, I'm really good at this. It's the evil one as well.
Can you stop?
It's an 8.
Okay.
It's just
Stop.
Has
progressive.
not rolled above 10 these days.
The
also
weather
102.
continues
love
getting
it.
worse.
I
Now impeding vision. You can see that there are small, like bigger and bigger crests in the waves. The wind itself becomes erratic to the point of slowing down travel. You can try to power through it if you want to. What would you guys like to do? If you try to power through it and maintain a regular pace, it will be a roll. If you slow down and add another half a day to your travel time, you will not have to roll for it.
I mean, we're not really getting somewhere urgent, are we?
I mean, personally, I would
You're the
like
captain.
to
Take the
power
scenic route.
through
You're the captain.
for it.
You are the captain.
You
Are
don't
we
even have to
speeding-
tell
are we
us it's happening.
are we
You're the-
speeding
you're the
up or
one
are
in
we-
the room?
It will be an airship check.
Time for the moonshine.
And the crew doesn't help you with this one. This one's just you.
It's a 24.
Okay, lovely.
Nice.
The wind begins to pick up, but as you take control of the primary rudder controls, you're able to, with your strength and knowledge of airship flying, able to maintain
Oh
course.
god, this control wins.
If you want to use control, yeah, absolutely.
Maybe if we need it later, not right
Lapis will at some point be standing on the deck, hair's like whipping around. It's like she can't hardly see, and she's like, don't think the weather's quite right now. I don't think
You
the
know
weather's
what?
alright today.
now. Something's a bit
Something's
off.
off. I have a feeling something bad is happening.
Something
Okay.
doesn't seem right in the world. Anyone want to do anything on the second
Yeah.
day?
Anyone want to tackle any specific
Is
task on day
this
2?
now 6 days or 5 days?
It's now 5. Yes.
Not 5 days.
I'm trying to follow it along in my notes.
Yeah. Well, if no one is doing anything on this second day of travel, then I will get Teely or Rain to roll me AD20 for day 3.
9. Wait, that's big.
Hey, look, we're going up. 7, 8, 9. Something's bound to happen right now.
Well, sure enough. The winds subside, but the tumultuous nature of the ocean only continues to get worse. You see a small island ahead of you that seems to be flooded over in sections. You see there are some bodies, like I think only you would see this because of your perception. You see a few bodies strewn about in the town, and then you see there are a handful of people trying to drag some of the bodies in or just get to higher ground. There is like it does crest up the island somewhat, but not terribly so.
How big is the island?
Like probably enough to support maybe like 200 to 300 people at most. It's quite a small island.
I look at the map. Is it on the map? Is it mapped?
It is mapped.
Is it labeled on the map?
It is not labeled, no, and it's not like a one-to-one. Like the shape's a bit off. It was hastily mapped, but yes.
It's just a minor fishing village, basically.
Yeah, about the size of like a minor fishing village that's been flooded over. What do you guys want to do? Do you just press on?
Captain, we could land and help these guys out. Shut up.
Later.
Saw nothing.
Later.
We'll be there when we get back there.
Later.
So it's fine.
Later.
I could just spam. Oh, no, I can't. I was gonna be like, I could spam destroy water.
Destroy the entire
Get rid of it!
ocean.
They strode into the
Goodbye!
ocean, stabbing at the sea.
Just throwing sand at it, just stop.
Casts disintegrate on the ocean. Ocean turns to sand. Massive desert time. Let's go. Okay. Well,
The Order will not win. Everyone dies.
this is day 3, so you have 4 days left.
Yep.
Does anyone want to do on day 3? Anything on day 3?
How long was the trip to get there?
About 4 or 5 days.
So we're going to get there with 1 day left before you vanish.
Yeah.
I guess
Okay,
Naya's
then
getting a
we'll
new
be
church.
It will be on solid ground. You can cast forbiddance, right?
Does Naya have a major religion?
Wait, does it have to be a room?
Considering that the continent is pretty much made up of outcasts, most probably not.
Fantastic. I shall establish
Can
a church.
Can I
Awesome.
do a history check or
You don't even need to
religion?
roll for this. Every religion and like some of the minor ones are present, and there's not much there's not like a dedicated like religious order. It's just like
There's no order?
it's just like
False.
it's just a handful of people getting together at like a local like town hall of sorts.
Solomon's
doing-
like a
So not a
colonial
dedicated,
Absolutely
not a dedicated temple.
Very well,
but-
I will erect one.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry about
So
it.
he's a cop, wants to be a landlord, and now a colonizer.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, if you guys didn't realize Solomon was problematic, you didn't know him very well.
What color is Solomon's metal?
It is it's sort of like it's a deep grey with that sort of bluish sheen to it that you get when you heat metal to
I was
the
gonna
right temperature.
If you were to say like a whitish color, I would have been like,
No.
Well,
actually,
it's blue, so he's a cop.
Yeah. Can someone write F in chat for the boys in blue?
Blue steel matters.
Okay,
Lapis
well,
spray paints ACAB onto the back of Solomon at some point.
ASAB, ASAB.
all Solomon's up.
I like that.
Solomon's just like, I don't understand.
Anyway, if there's nothing to be
What
done
is
on
12? Why do we
day
say
3?
fuck 12? No, Solomon's just, for the most part, in the workshop at Luft's old desk. Trying desperately to understand how she got anything done in that sort of chaotic space. Like, she's taken away 80% of her stuff and it's still
And
just
it's
like a
still-
mess.
You've just left it there.
Yeah, he's trying to fix it up at the moment and use some of the tools she left over.
Okay,
Actually,
Jordan. Oh, sorry. Do you want to do something?
Wait, yeah, I also.
Oh, you two want to do something?
Yeah, you can go first.
are you doing something long or short? So I'm gonna do something just really quick. This one.
Saying it is short, but it takes a lot of time for Tilo to do it.
Do you just want to go first?
After seeing like the flooded island, she kind of remembers like the island for her parents, and she's like, "Damn, I don't know where that is." And she's going to look for the atlas and kind
Okay,
of,
so you just want to like spend the day researching, trying to figure out what island.
yeah.
Okay. Roll me a investigation check.
It's called
Ooh, 23.
Lapis
23.
Island. Oh, you're gonna get some wool. Let's go.
One second. What did you want to do? I'll get your answer in a second.
Mine's actually kind of similar. I was just gonna be like, Maury, can you just get a closer look on the people on the island and then fly back?
Absolutely, mate. I'm going down. Just flies away. Can you roll me a perception check with Maury's stats?
Yeah.
Where advantage or is that corpse?
It is not about. Yeah. Just,
Yeah, mimicry. You could swear at them.
Yep.
It's like Alpha.
oh, that's good though. 22.
22? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with your 23, thinking back to what you have seen from when you were shown that memory or event, you think about like all of the geographical features and landmarks that you can remember, and the best that you can put together is you don't know exactly where the island is, but you know it's southeast of Zorana. Somewhere within. Let me just get the map up. So I'll show you if you want. So the red continent Zorana. Yeah. So you can figure it's somewhere here in the
Are
south.
we going south? I thought we were going north.
No. This is just her trying to figure out where her parents.
Okay, scared the shit out of me.
We're going to
Oh,
Corona.
and that was where your parents died in the sort of
Yeah,
fake
because she
crossing.
saw the island and she's like, you know
This
what?
reminds me of that one time that I was traumatized by picking up the wrong rocket from the wrong person made of ash.
This reminds me
At
of
the
the
wrong
time I saw
time.
my parents had died in a volcano. I better figure that out.
Yeah. So somewhere in this dark green region. With your 22, you can see that. What are you specifically looking for?
Like, is it just like the places have been flooded or? Have
Some
they
of
been
the
attacked?
some of the more coastal houses have been flooded, and some of the more wooden structures have been kind of like destroyed. There are some like mud and clay type residences that have just been eroded away from the constant influx and outflux of water. There's some higher elevation housing that people are retreating to. There are some bigger buildings that people are using as shelter. While what Maury can see from their angle, as to not be left too far behind the ship
Yeah.
itself, is that while there are quite a few dead, the majority of the town seems to have made it out or away from the flood.
And the dead just look like they drowned. Nothing.
Drowned or like the blunt force trauma of being pushed
yeah.
by waves. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll just use a bit of time on that day to make a vial of acid. I forgot the exact rules. I think it's like 8 hours and half
Yeah.
the cost.
Yeah. I think it's 25 gold for a vial of acid. So
Yeah.
just mark it off. And... Well, in which case, Jordan, can I get a D20 roll?
19.
19.
Oh, that's not up by one.
Lovely.
-9.
Throw him overboard.
As you arrive at the, this is not exactly like where the lighthouse is. This is the first like coastal region that you reach before getting there. This kind of like patch of island that then goes into a thin strait where the lighthouse would be. You can see a great portion of it has flooded over. You get there without issue, and the winds that were harrowing your journey previously come to a complete standstill, almost eerily so. But the waters are tumultuous, and dangerously turbulent. You can see that the tides come up unnaturally, so even for like Icoria's position in the sky and such, these 2 meter to 3 meter high waves roll onto shore and then roll back. And you can see these skeletal-like aquatic creatures holding what look like a bunch of different weapons, just making their way in mass.
Are these the same as those stupid fucking fish we fought right at the start?
Similar, not the same. They were like very much alive. These are skeletal.
It's skeleton fish.
Necromancy fish people.
I need.
Which way are they heading? Are they following into that strait?
The strait isn't visible to you guys yet, but they're
But
heading
like,
inland.
is that where
yes,
would...
they're heading inland towards the greater part of civilization. This coastal region. I will show you. Actually, where is it? So if I just download this image. Yes, I can. Cool. Perfect. I'll just resend the map in the D&D chat. It's in there now. It's just loading. But so there's that little section beneath the actual Naya text. That's where you're pulling up like now. So you've traveled like northeasterly, and you're just hitting that connected section beneath the actual text that says Naya, and that thin strait that connects it to the mainland. That's where the lighthouse is located. So it's like a port town, essentially, with water on either side. So there's like ports facing either way. And you're approaching that lower coastal region. This lower coastal region has a bunch of import and export stuff, similar to what you've seen previously, like a larger fishing nexus. A lot of it is flooded over. You can see several hundreds of these bone-like creatures stepping out of the water and heading towards the heading inland, essentially. As your journey continues, you start to see what appears to be these dark, deep purple protrusions, these tentacles reaching out of the water, and like kind of like clawing onto the land and pulling more of these skeletal creatures onto the mainland, using them kind of as like rope to pull themselves up.
And is this? Did you say this is only happening on that little bit of land before the strait, or is it?
It's happening pretty much like around that coast area. So
Okay.
So like all the way along this coast, going down.
So on the inner one as well. Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of fish. You guys been doing something over in Nye?
Not that I know.
Do I need to interrogate some villagers?
Not that I know.
Oh, really? You got necromancy at me. It's a good thing my badge doesn't affect anyone around here.
You're already
Out of my
Now
jurisdiction.
I'm on 3 days, right? Now I'm on 3 days left, right?
Fear not, Jamie. We will make land soon, and I will protect you from this malicious influence.
I'm having a mental blank. Was the lighthouse part of Solon or like Solon adjacent?
They're adjacent.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Solon was a little bit further ways away towards the east, I think,
Yeah, okay.
from when you showed me last,
Yes, I think that's
As long
right.
as we need it to.
but not a part of Solon, no.
Well, in which case, as you continue making heading towards towards the mainland, you see what looks like a larger conglomeration of different architectural huts. Some just handcrafted, some made with proper architecture in mind, and you see a familiar spire jutting out, but now on a slight tilt, as the lighthouse, which served both as a orphanage for those without a home and without family, and also served as a way to anchor ships to shore, is like on a partial tilt, almost sinking a little into the water. There are no ships to be seen. There is wreckage of ships that have been that are being wrecked. There are some currently being torn apart.
Currently being torn apart, as in there's skeletal.
No, there's these tentacles latched onto these ships, pulling them.
We've turned up in the middle of an invasion, have we?
Can we make the ship fly higher? Like,
Yeah,
does
well,
it?
you're not currently going into land yet, so you're still
Yeah.
pretty high now. I'm just describing what you see, like from this aerial perspective. You see, like there are 2 ships currently being like pulled apart by these tentacles, and then there's like a whole handful of like ships inshore that have been destroyed.
Are there any people around, or is this pretty empty?
Given that 90% of the land is now like water,
Yeah.
there
Everyone's
is
pissed off.
yeah, like the only people you see there are corpses. The further inland, just past maybe like about a 20-ish minute walk past the lighthouse, is this like ridge as it outcropping upwards. It's not like a mountain per se, but it's definitely like a larger hill, where you can see that the lights are completely dim, but like with your perception, you can see there's a little bit of movement in those houses. You can't tell whether it's foe or friend, but that is what you see. But yes, things do seem pretty dire as you arrive at.
Solomon just gestures on. The stonemason that built that lighthouse was incompetent. Anyone knows that a structure that tall should have a strong foundation of rock. See, it's I apologize.
Corruption.
I grew up there, Solomon. I have no
Did I know
idea.
about this? I think we did. I know about the lighthouse before this. Have you talked about it directly, or have we just heard about it enough offhand?
Indeed.
I have not really spoken a lot about Trey's past,
I don't think
so
so. I don't think I've heard of the lighthouse in character. Is what I mean.
I would say most probably not.
Yeah.
You've heard about the kids,
As it
but
sounds, whoever constructed it should have done a better job. I apologize that you grew up in such a poor dwelling.
it's not going to be
That's
safe
something
to get lower.
Why not?
I mean, do I have to point it out? One ship,
We're not landing in
2
the sea.
ships. How
Wait, is the lighthouse?
can I make a guess as to how long these tentacles are?
Make a perception check.
And is the lighthouse currently submerged at the
No,
base?
it's not submerged. It's just on a tilt.
Okay,
Like,
so because you said the water,
the water has risen, but not like it's not like fully submerged. Like
Okay, so how far in, like these docks and everything that the ships are anchored at? They're still above water, aren't they?
the actual like docking area is fully submerged, but the ships float, right? So
Yeah.
so they've risen up with the water level. The water level is much higher than you're used to seeing.
21.
21. You can surmise that the tentacles would, like, if you landed even like to the point where you could just like ladder down, they would be able to grab you.
Ladder down into the water or ladder down to the lighthouse?
Well, laddering down to the lighthouse, they would be able to grab you.
So so the tentacles can touch the lighthouse itself, can they?
Yeah.
I mean, we can park alongside the top of the lighthouse, can't we?
No.
No, that will
That will put you in
most
reach of the
definitely.
tentacles.
Oh, okay. They
Like
can reach
even
the
if
top of the
we're
lighthouse, can
higher
they?
Yes.
than
Oh, okay.
Okay, I thought these were a little bit smaller. So,
Bigger than
I
lighthouse.
understand its significance, then. Do we need to storm it? Or shall we search elsewhere for your family?
Not in the lighthouse. Let's try somewhere else. Too hard. Let's try
I
somewhere
mean, you were
else.
totally
It's not-
evacuated. Like,
it's not a matter about finding them. I'm not here to find them. I'm here to make sure that this place is safe for them to come back.
Solomon looks at the tentacles.
I don't think it is.
Alright, we've
Doesn't
done
look
it.
like it to me.
Regrettably, Trey, this appears to be a threat almost as large as the Order itself. This invasion, for that is what it is, spanned the entire coastline of this continent. There must have been
Hundreds or tens of thousands of these?
of the skeletal,
Yeah.
at least, like, you're looking within the tens of thousands.
Yeah,
But-
what they said. There must have been tens of thousands of these entities, supported by who knows how many more yet to emerge. I am surprised we have not heard word of this in Zarana.
No one cares about this continent, apart from the people who live here themselves.
That
I
is
know.
hardly the point. Anyone seeing an entire continent invaded would fear for their own safety.
It is worth mentioning that, like, when you received this information, it had just started. This had
Okay.
happened in the last week.
We should absolutely have asked Stent about what's going on before
You
this.
did.
We did. Do we ask Stent about?
She didn't.
Yeah,
know
she did.
that.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she genuinely just did not know. Like she heard that something has attacked Naya, but she didn't
This
know
isn't
what it
just
was.
something. This is like a full-on army. Yeah.
Well, I see. Okay, this is real just great. Very well. If you do not believe that bastion worth storming, shall we check further inland?
We don't aim for the body. We gotta aim for the head.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking about fighting off all of this now. I'm talking about fighting the people you're trying to protect, just for reference.
I know.
Okay, let's go find their head then.
Okay. Well, what's the
I
plan?
am going to keep a lookout for what could be the mastermind of the invasion.
I'm going to join you in that.
Okay.
But-
if you want to roll perception checks, or if one of you wants to roll with advantage.
Fear the head might be.
Your
deeper into
perception
the
is
ocean.
probably better, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to roll with
I do not need to
advantage?
breathe, conveniently enough.
Just send
Yeah, we
Solomon
get
and he'll
If
sort it out.
if I need to storm the beaches, I will.
What was I doing? Perception check.
We'll do like a Doctor Strange level. We'll drop you
Hang
into
on,
the
it's
ocean.
gotta
I'll be
be
riding you like a cowboy hat.
Pardon?
Massive.
What did you say?
Perception.
Not perception. I rolled a 12 plus 3, so that's
15.
15.
Wait, your perception is +3.
What is your
My
perception?
Plus 3.
Oh, okay.
So 15.
Which is interesting. I thought it was higher. But
Yeah, I thought it was higher too.
So did I.
Nah, her insight's good.
No
She
proficiency.
doesn't give a shit about perception.
You can't see, but God shall know if you lie.
Well, with a 15, you can't see anything that you designate as the commander or leader of whatever this force is. Yeah, as far as you can gather.
no, I have a high passive perception. That's what it is.
Yeah, nothing that immediately strikes you as leader or commander of this force.
Maybe if we take enough of them out, it'll show its ugly head.
It's done.
Do any of these things? Wait, what are the? What weapons are these undead thingos
Are
equipped
they
with?
just punching people?
They have these crudely made spears. They have these bony remains of different fish, like one's wielding like the remains of a swordfish.
Is it viable for us to start raining hellfire on them from above?
I suggest we go and find exactly what's going on with your family before we start killing things, but that's just me out of character.
You said it in character, so I'm going to take it in character.
Let's do that then, let's do it good.
They didn't say where they were.
I advise we find your family before we try to fight this horde.
Are you able to talk to them over the pyramid again? Or
If you
Hey, buddy. Hi. Are you able to help me get in contact with somebody? Ding ding. Yeah. Ding ding. Okay. I need you to get in contact with Clementine for me. Clementine. Yes. Ding ding. Hello,
Hello?
Clem.
Okay.
Where are you?
We're further inland. Why is there a pyramid here?
We're here.
Okay.
Sanctuary here.
Yes. Well,
If you can just tell me what building you're in, We're
if you're at the lighthouse, then just the ridge above. We've got maybe 70 to 80 people here. Some sick, some injured. but decently a few heavily. Yeah, make your way over.
Okay. You can hang up now.
Ring ring.
Okay, I think. Okay. So if we just continue heading up for a little bit. Whoa!
It points at one of the tentacles.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
So should we hold slightly further away? We should go see where they are, and then maybe hold slightly further away from them and take motherfuckers down until something happens. I mean,
Tywin, I do not believe that fighting this foe directly will yield results. You saw how many.
no, I know, but if I'm saying I think if we take enough of them out, they start going. Well, let's send in our big gun or get
Let
someone
us gather
higher
more
up.
information from the local residents before we make for.
I agree with
Plans.
I agree with Solomon. Something tells me that continuously fighting these things is not a good idea. They're probably just going to keep sending them out in their big guns, but I don't think they're going to send out the main one after us.
I suppose so, but I didn't come here just to watch them kill everyone.
I never suggested that. Fear not. There will be fighting to be done, Tywin, and I'm sure you will take part in it.
So
I'm killing someone today.
It is very likely.
And it might be me.
I couldn't meet my quota. I couldn't do it.
It is also very likely that we would be overwhelmed very quickly, considering there's like hundreds of them right now.
Well, when I said tens of thousands, that was along the entire coastline.
That's
Yes.
pretty much
This area itself, it has probably maybe a few hundred ago.
Do there appear to be any non-fish people reanimated along with this crowd?
No.
So there's no. Can we see any corpses around? Or any-
There are a few like floating in the water that you can see some. You can see some like with your passive perception, some darker ships that have sunken down a little as the water like bloats their body. But the horde attacking is just made of like these reanimated skeletal aquatic creatures.
And are they basically making their way up to this ridge at the moment? Or are they currently throwing
It's
themselves?
no, so they don't. Now that you're closer, they don't seem to have like a specific intelligence. They're just hacking and slashing at buildings. Like they're trying to just destroy.
Yeah. Destroy that at the land.
Yes. And
Atlantis rules!
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just imagining it's like Nazi zombies. Like we can just funnel them through somewhere and just keep firing in the same spot.
I'm
We are
really good at
plants.
holding a choke point,
Speaking
and
of
also
plants.
really good at killing undead.
Now the other thing is, now that you're even closer, you can see that. I think only you would see this. Every so often there is this like surge of water that rises up in a humanoid form, attacks a few of these skeletal creatures, gets overwhelmed by them, and then sinks back into the water, like always these like mini water elementals.
Is it always seawater?
It always seems to be seawater.
And it attacks the skeletal people.
And it attacks the skeletal creatures.
Cool.
Am I able
Someone's
to
defending
direct
it.
someone to look at it?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna take Tywin over and go, see? That's why I don't agree with that. And you're gonna show him like the...
Hey, someone's fighting.
Yes, but I don't know if you can see, but they're getting overwhelmed by the things. That would be us.
That's true, but he keeps getting back up.
How many times can we get back up?
I am
Tywin?
significantly more resilient than water.
Do you know
Fear
how
not,
many
Atlas.
times I've gotten back
How
up?
far away are we from the
The
building?
amount of times I've gone down.
Yeah, you
Well, I would have
I
been
won't come
like,
with you, but I'm not gonna stop you.
yeah, like, you make it there, and then this ridge is sufficiently high enough that neither the skeletal creatures or the tentacles have made it up yet.
Wait, the tentacles are making their way inland?
Yes, wherever there is water, the tentacles are
and
protruding
because the
through.
water is
Hold on,
rising.
I'm confused then. So how is the entire sea level is rising, or is it
Yes.
just
Yes,
at the
it's
time?
slowly converging further.
And weirdly enough, like the sea levels only really started rising the closer you've gotten to you guys are level 12. Like within you have the knowledge like this is a freak like weather event because it wasn't happening like this. The sea level
it
wasn't
is.
consistently risen everywhere. It's just here.
You're telling me that these tentacles can walk on land?
They're not walking on
And
land.
They're
They're in the
not.
water.
And swim in water. What are these idiots
Evolution.
connected
Evolution, baby.
But yes, you make it to the cluster of houses and homes. There's this particularly larger, like town hall-esque area where people have holed up. But there are other structures. They've constructed these kind of like they're not very well built, but they've constructed these like walkways between the houses that have like arches. And it's completely sealed, or at least hopefully completely sealed, to allow as little water in as possible. So it's kind of like this like web-like network of like a central building with a bunch of different like tunnels essentially made of stone and mud and wood and whatever they can find to make these connections to these other houses.
Place is a shithole. Said you lived here?
I didn't have a lot.
Yeah, damn.
I'll say.
Chicken, you might not like what you're gonna see, buddy, alright? It's gonna be okay.
Is chicken from Naya?
Yes.
I thought so.
Chicken law, chicken law, chicken law.
Yes.
I'm missing this whole time.
Missing?
I haven't had nearly enough chicken law.
Well,
It's
that
always
is
Trey's sad. Trey's
Yeah.
got family in Naya.
That is
There's a
fair.
lighthouse.
Yeah.
What do I know about chicken? It gets big
Well, that's
sometimes,
it.
but you never use that. 'Cause we have an airship.
Backstory of chicken. Once upon a time. Yeah. And I'm just going to, once it's safe to.
Rosalind asks you, should we land? Or we have another few days of fuel, so I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'm not sure if it's going to be safe here whilst the water is still rising. If you can find a place, maybe quickly scout
We can
further inland.
We can scout further inland.
We can.
If need be, we could also evacuate the people here.
Absolutely just start. What's the capacity of our airship?
You have the stats. I can get them up too. But
I'm just making sure I don't.
you can carry, like, if you use the cargo bay, you could carry about 50 people. at a
Creature
time.
capacity 15 crew, 15 passengers.
Yeah, so that's like seats and stuff.
And
but you
cargo
could also use
capacity
the cargo bay to just like have like a bunch of people get in at once.
Yeah, we could probably carry at least 100 people
How
in the
many
cargo
people
bay.
do we see down there?
Well, you don't see anyone down there. They're all
because
inside.
we haven't gone
20 people in the
in.
cargo
But
bay.
your friend said 70 or 80 people with them, right?
Yeah, so you land. Well, like you rope ladder down.
Yes, I immediately am just like, I'm not even caring how safe it is. I'm just like getting rope burn on my hand, just trying to drop as quick as I can.
We didn't sort out any nicer way to get up and down from the airship, did we? I know we had rappelling lines now, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. Yeah.
You don't have a beam me up Scotty yet, no, unfortunately. But yes, you make it to land with the town hall where everyone is cooped up inside.
I mean, I'm gonna enter. I don't know what everyone
Okay.
else is
I'm
doing, but
always following closely behind Trey.
And you are supported by a Solomon 5.
Okay. Well, you enter a rather somehow simultaneously lively and bleak space where there is a whole, like, it is crammed, but there are these walkways designated for like people in their wheelchairs or whatever to make their way around. There's like right at the back, there's like this the back wall and the sides of that area are turned into like a little mess hall area. You see like one of the stone tunnels is labeled like essentially like a med bay of sort. One of the houses is turned into like a little hospital. And right at the front, like where you enter, you can see just a bunch of kids running about, causing havoc.
I just start counting.
There's a few, well, given the kids that were at the lighthouse and that they picked up a few more along the way, there's more than what you previously knew when you left.
Okay.
You see a kid run up to Vanta, tug your sleeve. Are you a superhero?
I try my best.
What's your power?
I help people. I give them
Well,
strength.
duh, that's what superheroes do.
I can give people strength when they need it.
You can make me strong?
To a degree, yes.
Awesome. Guys, look! Superhero!
Can I, like, cast aid on this kid?
Yeah. Yes!
Hit me in the face. This is incredible.
Would you like to describe what Clementine looks like?
Oh, Clementine is an Asimar woman. She has quite long white hair that she kind of messily keeps in a bun. She has an eye patch over one eye. She likes wearing dresses, so kind of tries to look nice, considering that we don't have quite a lot. Anything else to add?
No. The dress is kind of like bunched up a little, just so that if you're walking around, the water level or the mud doesn't crack into it. She approaches Trey.
And I immediately hug her.
She looks tired, like really, really tired. She scans the lot of you.
This, I guess we should do some introductions. Everyone is Clementine. She runs the Lighthouse Sanctuary. This is Tylin.
Hi, nice to meet you.
This is Teely. Solomon
I am a
5.
wolf.
He is number
T3, T4, T7.
T4 NK3R.
Model T4 NK3R designation Solomon 5.
This is Lapis.
I know.
She's a mind bender of sorts. And this is Vanta.
Oh. Lovely to meet you all. I am sorry it could not be under better circumstances, but I am very glad you came. I've heard of your exploits.
Do you have much information about?
Well, other than what you've seen, other sections of Naya are reporting freak weather phenomena. The northern, more inland up north, they're reporting the creatures emerging from dormant volcanoes. To the west, along the mountain range, the entire region has become windswept, and in the opposing direction, they're reporting uncontrollable tremors and earthquakes.
Do you know what this sounds similar to me?
What?
The attack in the Church of Vocal.
No, you're right. It does. It's
Isn't
just
it
a
funny
good
how
word.
it's
Did we figure out which deity they were praying to when that happened, or not? I know you could understand them, but
it wasn't vocal.
I know.
It spoke, and it was some elemental, but that's all we know.
Yeah.
But yes, our specific situation is plain as can be seen. We have about 80-ish people here, all up. There are other similar outposts along this region, and we're trying to make our way at least to safer, higher ground. We've done it in small batches. We've sent about 20 to 30 people up. So, at a guess, our full population will be about 110, 120 of this little sect. And then we'll do another. When the more able-bodied people return, then we'll probably transport another 30 to 40.
We can help move people.
That would be good.
Did all this just start suddenly?
It started about 8 to 9 days ago when I contacted you. At first, it was just higher tides. Then then the water level started rising scarily fast. These creatures, the bone-like ones, emerged out of the ocean and then exponentially continued coming out in mass. And then the tentacles again. It's been an interesting week.
Has there been anyone in particular who's been like interesting or like said anything? Like anybody who might have like not had something to do with it, but been acting like off before that?
1 second, I'll just have a look into it. One of our nothing like suspicious, but one of our older residents here has been has had a bit of a psychotic break as of recently, as of the recent events, and we can't make any sense of what she's been saying. But she has been spouting utter nonsense. But some of it seems to be related, but we can't make sense of what she's been saying.
Can you take me to her?
Yes. We've isolated her for both not wanting to scare some of the children here, and also for her own safety. She takes you down one of these like hastily made stone corridors to a smaller house, and she kind of leads you, knocking on the bedroom door before just opening it. You see a somewhere in the mid 80s to 90s, human woman, just kind of like asleep in bed, curled up into like a tiny, like as tight a ball as she can get.
Ma'am, I'm sorry to wake you. I hope.
Who are these people?
I'm not there. I'm not a reassuring presence.
I've been a long friend of Clementine's. I've come back to help.
Your face. I've seen his face.
I lived here for a little bit. I'm not
Yes,
sure
yes.
if you.
Fire raining down upon us all.
Do you know where? What source?
The mountains of flame, they scream. They antagonize. And she kind of just dazes off a little, in thought.
Is it mainly from the source of fire that all of this is occurring? That you can see?
No. A great imbalance. Good elements and bad elements balance each other out.
Mm-hmm.
But when one overpowers the other, this occurs. This is a cursed land. It holds many secrets. Ones that may be the end of us all. There will be those who rise up to stop it, but it never really ends. They just restore the balance until it is broken again.
Okay. Okay. I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry, child. Do not be sorry.
Is there anything that I can do to relieve what's on your mind at all?
Restore the balance.
Where will this balance be restored? If you can see it. Can you show me?
She kind of gestures to a book on the shelf that she procures, and she points to. She flips through the pages, looking for something frantically, and she points to these drawings, or these 4 silhouettes. Not very well drawn, just kind of haphazardly drawn silhouettes to scale. There's a there's a stout, short humanoid silhouette. There's a much lither, even shorter humanoid silhouette. There's the first one, I believe, is a male. The second one is female. There's a third silhouette, a much taller, semi-muscular feminine figure. And then there is distinctly another male Aarakocran figure. They will restore the balance, but perhaps you can make sure there is a world where the balance can be restored.
Do any of the silhouettes look familiar?
The silhouettes don't look familiar, no. But remind me, what are the 2 names on your sword?
One of them is Aether. The other... What freaking session would have that been?
I believe it's...
Not that one.
You have water and air, correct?
Yes.
I believe the other one was Aurelia.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't remember what session it would have been.
That's a good one.
If you give me just a couple of minutes, I can go find it somewhere, because it was at the beginning.
Yes.
What did I miss? I heard silhouettes.
Right there when she started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's very
she has
maybe.
drawings of 4 silhouettes. One is an Aarakocra, 3 of them are humanoid, one of them is pretty short.
With a closer look, you can see that there seems to be an Aarakocra, a dwarf, an elven figure, and an orc.
There's too much evil water, so the plan is Teely's going to awaken some water and lecture it on ethics.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
There's a what languages do you speak? Well, if everyone's who is there? Like, who's present? Solomon said he's not there.
I come
I'm
along.
with Dre.
Are you there?
I want to be
I'm
hear
trying to
it,
be
but
reassured.
I want to hear the conversation, but I'm kind of scared my presence will scare her. So am I able to like hide
Listen.
behind- Yeah.
Okay. In which case, you're there. Are you there?
No.
I come along.
So what languages do the three of you speak?
Deep speech, dwarvish, elvish, gnomish, primordial, thieves' cant, and undercommon.
It's a lot. Orin, Common, Draconic, Infernal, Sign Language, Sylvan.
Yeah, my big research.
Common, Elvish, Giant, Gnomish, Halfling, Orc, Thieves' Cant, Undercommon.
Surely we've hit some bases.
Well, those who speak Primordial, so I think that's or reader speaks Primordial. You can actually read the text underneath each silhouette.
Which order were they in? Like, was it
They're in the
dwarf
order.
first or like elven first?
There's multiple
or-
orders.
The
be so easy. Just-
the
it's like
dwarf
the
was
IRA.
first. The elf was second. The orc was third,
And then, of course,
and then the Aarakocra was fourth.
yeah.
And you can read the text underneath. I will message you what it says.
I will very carefully
Ah.
approach the woman and kneel down and go, Can I take a look at that, if that's okay? And kind of like gently outstretch my hand.
Where is the Devon messages? The Devon.
Over there.
The Devon is
Devon
the Devon is.
The Devon archives, I love it.
The archives.
Continue. I will let Devon know of her findings.
Okay. Well, does any of the text on the sword match in the book?
I'm not stopping.
Yes.
That's impressive.
How did you get your most recent set of runes on the sword? By killing.
No, the
Rayfear.
Rayfear came with the. Remember?
Like a
And it was in the
jar.
glass jar, and then you were like, hold on a second as I let it out, and it like went into
Mm-hmm.
the sword, and then you were like, what the hell do you mean you need help with your
Yeah, this-
armor? You
this is like- this is
made
like-
this sword?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, this is so far beyond anything Solomon has made recently, so that's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
But the thing that we fought,
Was air associated. And the first one.
and it was
The
an,
first one I was falling from the dragon. That's when I got the first one, I'm pretty sure. Was it? No. It was.
The first one you got from Kinos.
That's
yeah, I was going to say
right.
that was
You're
ages
falling
ago.
from
That
the sky.
was
Oh,
the
look, he's on the sword.
Furbolg guy. No, 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 no. I still hate that Furbolg.
Sure.
Which
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to think. You didn't kill any dwarf elf Aarakocra.
There you go. So I've given you the
As
description
far as I know, no.
and then the names underneath.
I'm sure Tywin could help with at least two of those.
Names.
I'm gonna be like,
You're like, get ready to have your minds bended.
you can see her brain starting to go like, boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna.
Aneurysm.
Could you please pass me your social code? I just need to cross-reference them.
I hold it out to you.
And she kind of like.
She tries to pick it up.
We've had this thing happen before.
Her like arm just turned to continue and she like.
I can
Don't-
hold it. You don't need to. You don't need to hold it. If you need to
You got
cross-check information, I'll hold it
She kind of.
onto the blade. I'll be fine. Look
I
at
was
it.
gonna say like put it on my lap and then have like the sheet here, but she kind of like looks at the sword and then looks at the paper and just kind of like. I see. There's some names on here.
He mixes it up, gives the drawing to Trey and the sword to
All right, here you go, madam.
Grandma's got a sword now.
Would we like to learn these names? Or they?
You have the information. You can
It's
share it
up
as
to
you
you.
see
Who
fit.
wants to learn some names?
Of course.
So she kind of asks for the paper back. She needs it. Okay.
Oops, sorry.
This one, she points to the dwarf,
Mm.
is called Enriya. The elf, Aether. The orc, Livia. Velda.
How do you spell that?
Yedelda. And the alcocker is called Reet. Reet.
What?
Reet.
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 Okay.
Do you need help, Tywin?
No. No. What the fuck does that mean?
Tywin can't spell.
I know fucking 9 languages.
I'm kidding. Don't worry, Tywin. I'm not. I know you're smart. Don't worry. I would never
I don't know. I
doubt.
feel like people don't think I'm smart.
Doubt my
I'm a
nose.
punching bag in this.
Shit for
I
my
don't-
intelligence.
I've never thought you were
You're actually
stupid.
smarter than most of us.
I am one of the
But you're
smartest.
the smartest.
I have been
You're the
saying
smartest
you're not
after the chicken.
smart?
People act like I'm not smart.
I have been complimenting you a lot.
Have you?
On your sneaking skills.
You've been kicking me in the face a lot.
Because I mean, I haven't been insulting you. I think you've been doing a good job.
Clearly have brain
Thank
cells
you.
to spare.
Would you like to
Full move.
move further inland? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name before.
My name. Names. Such silly little things. Yes.
Okay. Well, if it makes you feel any better, my name is Trey.
Trey. Very well about me.
It's nice to
You will have
meet
met this
again.
person like very young.
If I'm able to listen from a hidden place, can I cast detect thoughts on this person?
Sure. Are you looking just surface thoughts or are you probing deeper?
During the conversation, I'll stick to surface thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Do it.
but like after, let's say, or after Devon finds out the names, I want to probe deeper.
Okay. Surface thoughts are just this chaotic flurry of, like, when Trey mentions a name, like all of these images of like a really young tiefling that you assume is Trey show up in her head, and then she's just like thinking about her name, like it's there, but like on the tip of your tongue, she can't remember it. Yeah, like all like the surface thoughts are just this chaotic flurry of random thoughts. Do I need to roll a save?
Yes, then probing deeper is this.
I'll roll with disadvantage because she has outnumber.
It's a wisdom save.
Natural one. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking for whatever she knows of this elemental balance and what sources of this invasion of things, and if anything connects back to the vocal temple attack.
Okay. Well. I will send it to you.
Okay.
Information.
Yeah.
Do we notice like any?
Fish people in this room.
I was gonna say koi ponds, but that's also a really good question.
Thank you.
Is anyone looking especially fishy?
Yeah, like does it smell like anything like, other than lapis?
Yeah, I mean, rotting fish.
Oh yeah, undead fish would stink.
You're gonna be able to smell them from a mile away.
Then again, regular undead stink too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Undead stink,
There
fish
you go,
stink.
There you go, Rain. Information, Rain. There you go,
She
Rain.
If
has.
only we had a
She
character who was prejudiced against
in her deeper thoughts, she's just thinking those words on repeat.
Okay.
Just daft punks around the world.
She's just thinking, somebody come together.
This is denied any of these.
Mashing in her head.
Yeah, are there any koi ponds around that might be missing one of two fish?
Make an investigation check.
Oh.
And if that's the case, can I please find the closest moon princess to put in there? I got like a 13 or something silly.
Yeah, I have to fall in love with someone.
Yeah.
That's
That'd
rough,
be-
buddy.
That's rough, buddy. Damn.
No koi points. No koi ponds.
Okay, guys, don't
Points.
worry. Spirit's all good. Someone else.
Do you want to head further inland, away from
Inland. Smart.
How hard is this?
How do I?
How do you say it? You just say it.
Just say it.
Oh, you're not in the
She's-
room, but it'd be funny if you did.
She speaks of the characters in her drawings, and of death. I'm not sure if it's their death. She specifically saying a chant: "Dwarf of surf, bird of flame, together they shall chant her name. Watery grave, your corpse burned, but the lesson is never learned. Elf of air, orc of stone, destined to forever roam. Final breath, crushed to death, release of evil beyond our death." Each kind of death is linked to their element in that order.
So it seems like
Human sacrifice time.
yeah.
Kill 4 humans according to the 4 elements.
All we have to do is off one elf, and this will fix this whole situation. Is it elf? Who's the water elf?
There's a
Elf
dwarf,
is
an
air,
elf,
dwarf is
an orc,
water,
and-
Dwarf
bird
is
is
water.
fire,
Dwarf is surf, that's it.
Oh, wonderful.
That's good.
Oh,
I got that.
yeah, I'll leave you to it.
ground and
Off you go, Tywin.
Is anyone or all
I
of
can
them?
absolutely see Tywin just like round the back of some alley, just drowning a dwarf in a barrel of water.
Yeah. Like, this dwarf is just like, I have a feeling I'm about something bad.
Honestly,
just
just-
and the time just running behind me.
I reckon just go at it until you see results.
Yeah, we'll just keep going. Can't hurt, right? Nothing to lose.
Damn. This is all coming together.
I guess at this time, to tell this to everyone, I've come out of hiding, so she just sees a tree person.
She doesn't like acknowledge you like specifically. She just kind of like
Okay.
You're not
nods at
special,
you.
she sees wizards in her dreams, apparently.
Surprise.
Yeah, that's true.
Surprise!
Solomon, no, sorry.
It's
Can
the
we
four
jump-
I'll roll death
silhouettes.
saving throws for it as she has a heart attack from
Hey, what
surprise.
happened to Victus? I was thinking about this before.
Victus is on the ship.
Hi.
Victus can get on the ship?
Victus has always been able to get on the ship.
He's
Somehow I
on.
forgot.
He can't go lower deck.
Yeah,
he's always on the ship.
He's always
Are
on
they
the
in
ship.
cargo hold? So wait, we're just sailing around with like him as a sail?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
He gets the wind
Just
in
been
his,
ignoring
in his
him.
leaves all the time.
Speaking of which, how many days past their awakening are we?
Oh, good
'Cause at some point,
question.
At some point, Victus gets
That's
free
the
will.
battery.
We better hope to God we made friends with him before that.
Yeah, it's battery.
I
Alright,
think
in
we're
which case, do you want to just cut to a break then?
Yeah,
It's
okay,
been a
alright.
while since it
Alright, we'll
rained.
go to a break. We'll be back very
Break
soon. See you then. Bye.
Don't remember which
Welcome back to Pungeons and Pragons.
Yay!
We pick up right where we left off with
Love that you had to like breathe in hard to not
not
break.
Yes, we continue with our lovely cast of characters. As it were.
Personal out of character question.
Out of character.
Quack. The tentacles. What's the most improbable like source of water that they're coming from? Is it just the ocean, or is it like deep lakes, or like puddles,
ocean,
or
right?
unattended cups of water?
No, all of the tentacles are
Terrifying
in some way connected to the wider ocean.
Ah, I see.
And then you try and get them, and you think they're choking, and they open their mouth, and it's just.
No, that's enough. Thank you, Stuart.
Oh, I'm using that.
Write
But
this
yes,
down.
Clementine basically says. One second. Yep. Yeah, Clementine basically says, "We'll leave you to your rest. If we have any other questions, we'll come back." That's it. Thank you. And she basically leads you back to the larger town hall area, where Vanta and Solomon are still. Well, you're being crowded by kids who
You're
all
a
want
superhero.
superpowers.
I'm
now.
really, honestly, a little bit pissed that they saw this giant metal man and some shabby fucking witch, and we're like, superhero!
I'm just like this homeless person.
you fit in here. What's going on?
Priorities, my guy.
Hey, look, if they want to be turned into
I'm not stopping.
Cybermen, then they'll ask you.
Yeah, they better.
Superheroes
I can
are
make it
all the
happen.
rage at the moment. Follow with the trends, Solomon.
What will you find, Captain?
Well, it seems like there is a how to word properly. The elements are not in balance with one another.
That has led to these acts of necromancy and destruction. I would understand the weather, but the resurrection of these beasts, those tentacle entities.
Well, it seems like it's not just water that's affecting here. It seems volcanic stuff is happening in the north. In the west, it's more air-based. East, it's more earth-based. The elements are
The entire
heavily...
continent is besieged.
There's also some sort of prophecy linked to this, whether it could just be the thoughts of a partly insane person linking aspects of history to this attack, or it could actually be linked, but there's 4 people linked to each element, and also linked to death.
Indeed. Do you know these individuals? Are they here?
2 of them are on, their names are on Trey's sword, and
The sword.
they give her sword the same elements they're linked to.
Do you inscribe them upon this sword? Captain? Then
I had no idea of them until you and Lapis both mentioned it when you looked at it that time.
indeed.
There's
As I said, the magic parts I didn't do.
You just made a sword.
I made a sword that got thrown into an ocean. But that's for another time.
there is
I thought it got thrown into water.
Waterfall goes into ocean.
Easy.
there's like a dwarf that has to do with like air,
Water.
water, surf,
There's
Water sword.
a
water short.
an elf to do with air,
Mhm.
an orc that has to do with earth,
Mhm.
and a clock that has to do with fire.
Indeed. We have no confirmed sightings of any of these individuals across the continent. None of the people here have seen what caused this.
Actually, we should ask about the humanoid forms of water that Lapis found.
They do not. And I was told about these, wasn't I? Yeah.
No, we would have.
By all
You
means.
saw them.
Yeah, interrogate the way.
The water elementals fighting.
Very well. How much danger is the town at the moment then? This is like on a decent ridge, isn't it? Like it would
Yes,
take at
like-
least like 20 to 50 meters of swell to get up here.
Yeah. Like, it's decently high.
So it's not going to get
swept away, but these things might storm it. And how close is the sea line to it at the moment?
Well, Clementine will basically fill you in. Based on the rate that it's been, the water has been rising recently, we have perhaps another 3 to 4 days before it hits this ridge.
Well capable of ferrying you inland, but if you speak the truth and this entire landmass is being attacked by elemental forces, I am not sure how much good it will do. As it stands, we are prepared to help you evacuate immediately to reduce the pressure on us defending you and the danger to the citizens of this town. I fear it will only be a temporary measure, of course.
If you have access to a ship, I can also help point out some of the other pockets of remaining civilization to collect as well. To move in.
Regrettably, I believe even this small resistance will have to be moved in batches of people. Our airship is not able to accommodate the entire town, and certainly not more. We would have the crew begin ferrying those mobile immediately, and in the meantime, assess the damage. But that is merely my first assessment. If there is a wiser course of action that will stop this madness, then by all means we should take it. Is there anything within the mythology of Naya, for I have not heard of these forces before, that would explain what is happening here? Like,
Roll
surely Kanos
history.
must.
Or yeah, or if you wanna,
Have you consulted?
you do have that
Kanos
one
on
question.
these?
Not yet.
It may be wise to.
Well,
the
you wanna roll a history
information
check in the meantime?
we can glean would be really quite cash money.
14.
Unfortunately, a 14 is not high enough to recall any specifics about the connection of elementals to Naya.
Yeah, I could think of maybe some people who might know the history here better than I do. I'm technically still quite young-ish. I haven't been here for a few years as well, so
It is understandable. As it stands, do we have any other plans to suggest?
I have one, but I don't know what the viability of it. The surges of current and waves all originate from the same location.
What? How the hell do they know that?
We've seen it,
point.
like a
That's
singular
the
point.
head.
The waves come in and they don't extend past it.
That's the Where?
Where is
Where
this
is that?
point?
It's. Let me just get the map back up. Where's the map? Actually, I'll just get it up on here.
Got it, Joe. I'm assuming it's probably out in the water.
I should it's gonna be somewhere close.
My head on TV. At some point, I'm just going to like that.
Boosh!
It'll flicker, and you'll see my thoughts.
And is there like one of these for every place?
We don't know much about past our little area, but the central nexus is here.
Oh,
Yeah, so where this area meets, like right there.
We would have flied
I
past.
cannot.
No, you started
I
here.
cannot
Yeah,
see.
You went up to here, so now you're here.
So it's out this way.
We've dealt with water combat before.
So like halfway
We know how
between the
that
two crab
went.
claws coming off the
Yeah.
island.
That's thing is going down.
Uh,
I didn't think about this.
yeah,
shit.
like here.
Yeah.
I didn't expect. We wouldn't have known actually. Okay. So we've got 3 to 4 days before this village is basically toast, because there's no way they defend against anything that's coming out of the water or just the rising currents itself. We can. How far inland? Does it look like there's? I'm assuming the terrain keeps rising inland, doesn't it? Like,
Yes,
it's
it-
going to be exponentially harder for the water to get further in, right?
You'll seem to, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't it coming out of volcanoes?
Yeah, but we're not
Water-
going that far.
No.
Is water pouring out of the volcanoes and
No.
No, that's so. The
So
volcano
there's
is
4
just a
regions.
separate- yeah.
You're in currently a
We're
place.
in the water region.
Yes, you're currently in the water
Then
region
the
that's being
north is
affected
the
by water
fire
phenomena.
region.
Right.
And
The
the,
north is
east
fire.
is the urban region, and the west is the Aaron region.
So, as an out of character discussion thing, the crew of the airship can independently ferry these people away for a while. I don't know how far. It's probably not going to take very long to make a lot of distance on this. That'll take. You said there was almost 200, or was that? No, that was the island we passed over. How big is the population of this little settlement?
70 to 80
This
Oh,
no.
78.
in this town,
What,
right?
what Clementine's looking after is about 70 to 80 people.
Okay.
She said there's other pockets similar to the one they've created here,
Yeah,
elsewhere,
okay.
that she can
So-
help point out if
So there
if
might
you
be a few hundred, couple hundred.
Yeah, okay. So, because we can take roughly, what was it? I looked this up before. It's like 35 people on the airship with the cargo hold. And that's like no belongings, or very, very minimal belongings. So probably closer to
I'll say like with some cramming, you could probably get about 50 people per trip.
with their supplies though. Because if we're going to relocate a village, then they need to just not die at the other end
Well, yes, but
somehow. So we either need somewhere to drop them off safely, or
Look,
like
that part once they're
another
landed,
stronghold,
not
or
on us.
we need to take enough stuff that they're independent when they get there. Which is going to be
Qantas never
hard.
checks on me after I land.
what is the Clementine will ask you, what is the travel? How quickly does your ship travel? There's a about an hour north about flying. There's basically a keep that would have some civilians in it now.
That'd be good if we can just form a shitty base camp outside of that.
No, like they're saying it's an abandoned keep they've turned into, like,
Yeah,
because they've been sending scouting parties ahead. To
And I'm
figure
saying
out-
that if we put in enough people to get populated, but they'll live for a bit, that's pretty good. Okay, so we've got somewhere we can send them at least, and then the airship can continue ferrying people around the surrounding area. I can certainly make a big dent on these hordes, especially if I had the airship to do it from.
I
Because
mean, I don't think there's going to be any place to land to fight this thing.
Yeah,
you'll be
it's-
fighting them in water.
the skeletal things as well.
Yeah, the original plan where we throw you overboard with Tywin tied to your back.
I'll come along.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
don't like, I
'cause-
don't like ships.
No, I just know that I can do a lot of damage from afar at the moment, just because I picked some spells recently.
Huzzah!
Yeah, but that's, you said the whole anger them enough to draw something out. We can investigate this force fighting against them, but otherwise we basically take 2 or 3 days to ferry people away from here and get them safe, and then go for the big swell, or do you want to go for the swell before it gets bigger?
Well,
There's my hard question for the evening.
yes. And an alternate solution that Clementine will suggest is something along the lines of you guys get like transported, and then the airship comes back and starts transporting people out.
So we'd get transported to
No, we need the airship there with us. 'cause
Solomon
otherwise-
needs the airship there, because otherwise Solomon would drown.
No,
Goes-
I've got solutions to that, but even then, like the spot you're pointing at is like, it looks like, given how long did we take to get here again?
4 days.
4 days.
This is
4
our
days.
4th day of travel. So
So it
5
looks
days.
like it's almost like a
5?
Yeah,
day
because-
away from, or at
we're
least
in
half
4
a day.
days.
It looks like it's almost like a full half day at least away from where we are currently, if I'm not wrong. And it's also, by extension, like a third of a day straight out into the ocean.
Yeah.
So we can't do anything out there short of float. Like, unless we have a boat, which is, as looked at the harbour, pretty bad place to be. We can't really fight without the airship out there.
None of us are especially good at underwater except for you.
No, not you either, actually.
Yeah, and I won't be underwater. Like, I fight on the ground underwater.
So what we should do is we should modify your steel shroud costume and turn you into a diving bell. And we can all pile inside.
No, I have solutions for this, because I have water walk, which is, I keep meaning to do it in downtime to make a scroll of it, so that when Solomon eventually plunges to the bottom of the ocean, he basically goes poof, and then poof, floats back up. But I can just prepare it, which is boring.
Yeah, water walk would be good. That lasts an hour or 8 hours?
It's a while, but yeah.
I believe it's 8.
So either way, we can do something over there, but it's not like we can hang around there for a day without the airship, and we certainly can't fight as well without having it. So,
Or conundrum.
what do you reckon, gang? Do we just piss off out there now and leave these silly townsfolk and assume we'll kill it within 3 days? How long? So you said it was an hour's flight away, roughly. This keep.
Yeah.
There's at least, I'm guessing, 4 trips, three to 4 trips of people and supplies we need to take to this keep. So that's 8 hours worth of.
The other thing is, we've only got a few days worth of fuel left.
Yeah, I was.
You also only have
I
3 days on Teely.
I wish you hadn't said that one, of
Well,
course,
you gotta get
because
there. It's
I'll,
okay.
we'll fix something there. Because there's no way.
It's,
This continent's a shithole.
This
isn't
is
it?
a resource management sim. What do you want to prioritize?
I'm getting there.
You will not achieve everything. I'm
This-
telling you that now.
This continent is a shithole, right? There's nowhere to refuel.
No.
You could probably
Wait,
there's places you
there
can
are
refuel.
places to fuel.
Because I was going to say, otherwise we don't get back anyway.
Yeah.
So we need to find somewhere to refuel. If we don't fight the source, then there's no point in any of this, unless they want to just happily sit in their keep.
Put me in front of something I can shoot my crossbow at, and I'll do it.
Kill dwarves until the water
See.
stops.
You
What
need
can
to
I shoot?
the problem
Highest
is,
intelligence character.
My wisdom's low.
the one thing that you need to shoot is the thing that we can't reach. Because effectively, any,
I can reach anything. Have you seen my range?
Is there
Any-
any?
it's not
are
a
there
day's
any other
range.
airships
Yes, it is.
in this town?
Not in this town, but there are like, you would have enough knowledge to know that there are like airships on Naya, so there will be places to refuel along the way, like traveling around Naya.
What if we just put them all on a sled and tie it to the ship, drive it really fast in the direction we want them to go, and then release them off the ship, and they'll go the rest of the way, and then we can take the ship.
What the fuck?
I feel
Does
like I'd
Tywin
like
say
to.
this?
No, I'm not using the
The
voice.
Talon said this.
That's
Now-
out of character.
I know it's out of character.
I think I'd like to prioritize
Myself?
getting rid of the problem first. Simply because if we succeed, people stop dying, and if we prioritize getting them to the shelter, we're just delaying their deaths if we don't succeed.
I agree, and
Later.
I think the problem is we also don't know how these motherfuckers work. Could be the longer we're waiting, they might have infinite potential
Yes.
on these things, and their army just gets bigger the longer we.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
don't
either
know.
way,
I-
we need to face the
any
problem.
any bolt you put into a skeleton is effectively like a bolt wasted.
I
Because
would,
it just does nothing. Like,
I
you
would-
could shoot every one of those tentacles, and they're just going to be like,
I would agree that
No,
fighting
they
is
die.
pretty high on my
Now
priority.
you do have quite a few resources. I know Teely has a specific resource, a ring. You have resources to help you with this, but what you do with them is your call entirely.
We are not using. We are not.
We need the ring for the war.
Yeah.
We are
need the
not-
This is a war.
This is a different
This
war.
isn't our war.
I wish
That's why I want
that
to-
was-
I wish
This
Naya
is,
was
this
just
is my war,
Yeah.
but
I
this
wish
isn't your
Naya
war.
was just like Aaron and it could fly,
Here's what we do.
and nothing was wet.
It's for the war, but
We fly
war
the
wing.
continent of Erin over, drag a rope down, and get everyone.
Come on, guys.
Well, I'll leave the final decision to you. I'm just reminding you that you do have these resources available.
I agree. I want to take out the threat.
I think that's like the biggest priority because, like you said, if we just delay it, it's probably going to get worse.
I think we move the people that we can move who are in our sight right now. We think we move
Well-
them closer to safety, and then we go take out the
Like,
threat.
it should be
Something
said,
that
they
won't
are
take as
also
long.
moving people just slower than an airship could.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're completely helpless. It's just the ship would.
Yeah, if we just get
the
the
ship would
shitty
help them
wound-
more, but then
like,
it would help you less.
If we just get the shitty wounded people out, then it'll make their job
Yeah,
literally like an
infinitely
order of magnitude
yeah.
easier.
Help them right now quickly. Make their speed their progress along a little bit, and then we take the ship and go.
I like that.
Doesn't even fix the problem of the stupid foundations of the lighthouse. Like, we absolutely have to.
It's really gonna be in the
That
bottom
is
of
a
that.
long-term problem.
I'll personally repair that when we get back and the water's down. Had enough of that rubbish.
Okay.
I like that idea.
So
All
wandering
right, Stuart,
stars.
I'll hold on to you.
Yeah.
So wandering stars. What is your decision? What are you doing?
I think
Spend a day ferrying people out, right?
An entire day? I think you just wanted to do the sick and the wounded.
What were you saying?
I was going to say the same thing. We take the sick and the wounded,
Yeah.
and then we try and fight this thing as much as we can.
And in the meantime that we have to wait for the airship to come back, we focus on Tilly.
What's wrong with Keely?
We
That's
gotta
still 3
cut a
days.
tether away.
So
But the earlier the better.
There's no reason to
I
wait
mean, we
until the
can-
time is about to run out. This isn't
Well,
24.
that's
yeah,
the
It's like you're trying to,
our
like,
only
parry
solution
exactly on the
right
frame.
now is to stop me from being teleported out when it's happening. But
So-
yeah, if we can figure out a way to
problem
stop
is there's no easy way to predict when it's going to happen. I have one spell and it's like a 6th level one that can see the thing that's scrying on him, but it only lasts for an hour, so it's not the sort of thing you can keep up long enough to say, there it is.
Well,
There's
no.
Tilly.
I will give you this information freely because Teely would know of it.
Okay.
It's exactly 7 days, like 7 times 24, like 168 hours from when you were informed.
Okay.
Is
fair
when you
enough.
would is
Then
when
you
you
boot
would
robot boys.
Okay,
then
that's
we use
that's
their
so much,
internal calculators.
so much easier then.
Yeah. So as of that announcement, you had 168 hours.
We don't know what sort of spell it was going to be, do we? There was no actual effect on them at the moment. Well, I can start a church. We can put Teely in it in 3 days' time.
Right, this town hall needs some decorating.
Or, it's realistically, I either start a church or I cast one thing of Forbiddance and both of them take 1,000 gold and a day. But the Forbiddance will just won't hang around, whereas the other one will give permanent light to this shitty little rock.
You would also know this, Teely. You can trigger that earlier by saying you want to go now. It was just saying in 7 days it will happen. You can go earlier if you want.
And then cast Dimension Door and come back.
Oh, I know what we can do.
The asteroids are 500 feet away.
I just had an
Tilly just
idea.
like, man,
I mean,
Yeah.
so is X1 apparently. You were able to teleport back from there.
Tilly just says,
Yeah,
that's it, man, I wish this wasn't
with
happening.
Fae bullshit.
I just
They
had an
have Fae
idea.
bullshit too, probably.
Hooray!
Wait, did we figure out which plane of existence you were native to again?
X1 probably. But I don't think we ever
Cast banish.
studied
You're
that.
gonna banish Teely.
I'm gonna banish Teely. Teely's gonna accept the teleport. I'm gonna unbanish Teely. Teely comes back to here.
And then we get the little pyramid guy and
Yeah,
see
it's a great plan. I
Worst
love it.
plan
The
I've
problem
ever
is,
heard.
if it doesn't work, well, there's just no Teely.
Think of it this way.
We've just permanently lost Teely.
Okay, we options are: I start a church because Solomon would love to bring light to these poor people. I start a church. Speaking of which, what's your creature type? Are you Fae or are you a humanoid?
Humanoid.
Thank God. Otherwise, you wouldn't be allowed in.
God.
Humanoid with Fae vibes last
Well,
time
we'll
was
find
church.
out the hard way.
I mean, we're not allowed in. Kind of fiendy
we'll
undeady.
find out
Which
the
is
hard
fine.
way.
I'm a abomination.
Are you? Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure those are allowed in actually, which is the worst bit. I start a church. We do your plan, which is we feign death on Teely. Teely's dead. They're not going to bring him back. All good. But last time that happened, they sent a whole fucking pod to fix them up. Also,
That's
it
not
might
bad,
stop
I'm
the
sorry.
teleport. But that being said, this is me going off my meta knowledge of the spell teleport that works on objects as well. So I wouldn't know. But we could do that. We could pretend they're dead. Maybe it'll stop it. We banish them. They accept the teleport, and we undo it. Easy peasy. Nothing could possibly go wrong there. Or we just,
I like it.
or we just make Rain roll a new character, and we're all good.
Or just wish
I
it-
think all three
You
of
wish
these
it
are going
away.
to end with Rain rolling a new character.
Why would I wish that
Tilly's just
away?
like, man,
No, you could wish this problem away. Again, I'm just saying.
Tilly's
Just
like,
wish
man, I
Tilly
this
into
wasn't
command of the
happening right
Gaians.
now. Everything.
That'd be really cool.
That would actually be
Everything.
kinda cool.
No, that would still be
could do
roll,
that.
that would still be rolling
Is
a new
that-
character, but we just have them as the next big
I
bad.
mean, is that within the bounds of Wish?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
more about
Anything
what-
is within the bounds of wish.
It's you just have to fight
don't-
fear over it.
I don't think it's that big of a wish, to be honest.
Increasingly mediocre results, the bigger the wish.
Tilly,
Like it's,
Yeah.
you're just basically saying I want to get a promotion at work. Like it's not a huge wish.
Tilly,
It just happens that your work is leading an army.
Tilly could potentially wish that I wish every single bad thing that's about to happen to us just never happens, and you could just. wish
I wish
everything
But that's a
Resolve the
huge
plot.
thing that's very dangerous.
I will say, the bigger the thing you wish for, the more that will go
likely it'll
wrong.
go wrong. Yeah, that's the thing. It's specifically.
If you want to use the wish
I
to
watched this
stop
in
the
a movie
teleport,
once.
or to change something about the Gaians, or anything, but from what I'm gathering, your plan is to ferry out the injured and then go fight this thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll do that
Yeah.
for now, and then Teely's probably
Are you-
for their
so-
time. Unless,
sorry.
okay, the only thing is, if you want me to start a church, I need 1 day and a bit of money from people.
I can give you any money you need.
Oh, you're a religious donator. It's tax exempt, just so you know. So enjoy.
Oh, great.
Tax deductible. Yeah.
Awesome.
There's no taxes here because it's a shithole. But
Right.
are there taxes here? Is there a government in Naya?
Shitting on
There are
be
some corrupt
introducing
governments, yeah,
taxes?
sure.
Okay, cool. Undoubtedly.
So
Yeah.
are you doing anything, Kelly?
Right now, no. Well, not with the wish.
You can-
Just accept the teleport, you pussy.
That won't be.
go in there and make trouble.
Do you accept?
Stop that. Stop that. I'm not
No,
ready.
not now.
Jeepers.
Tilly's just like, no, I'm not.
I am
We're going
monitoring
crazy today.
Teely's words like a hawk.
Yeah, anytime they say I wish or I accept, we're all fucked. I wish it wasn't this hard. No!
And oh, that's actually a good wish.
Alright, we'll make it
It's just
easy on
easy
you.
mode.
Anyhow,
Just lower our own difficulty.
so what is the plan?
Stuff that's
It's
definitely
game
happening.
time.
Ferry out injured.
So do you want
Right
to
now.
build the church now? Like while they're ferrying out the thing, do you want to build the church now? I can give you the money.
I need to talk to the settlement owner, but
You probably want a church here regardless if it helps Tilly or not.
is this place going to be recolonized once the water
I
recedes?
would assume so,
Or
yes.
is the keep going to be their new home and home? Probably
No,
not.
no,
They need the water as a resource. To
This is a part of their, like, they import-export in this
I badly
area.
want it to be the lighthouse. That'd be hilarious.
I can cast aid on the injured, and I can make them build the
I
church
might
for
need
you.
someone for that, and then
I can just hallow the ground. I don't explicitly need a church, but it would be good to start it. Solomon's got stone shape and fabricate, so he'll build the foundation for sure.
Build a church out of the injured people.
I like this. But then what if they don't become? What if they're not injured anymore? How do we fix that?
We'll keep them injured.
Permanently, okay.
For Taylor.
What we'll do is if Devon's going outside the building and you guys need to decide on a plan, we'll go to like a short, like 5-10 minute break.
We're
That's
just gonna
optimistic.
talk about the same shit we've just been talking about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, at the end of the break, you guys are telling me what you are doing.
That's fair. Alright. We'll be back soon. See you then.
Still don't
Bye.
Welcome back to Backstage Revolution as we continue in a shorter last segment as we wrap up tonight's episode.
Our plan is to start moving the weak and the sick as we prepare to go and fight the war.
Well, you let the ship know that you want to do one journey of just the weak and the injured while you guys prepare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good idea. Have we talked to any of these water elementals yet?
No.
We have a word with Clementine.
Yes.
We saw as we flew over what appeared to be discourse among these elemental forces. There was a water elemental, or several, that appeared to be summoning themselves within the masses of these hordes and fighting until overwhelmed.
Yes.
Have you noticed this? Do you have any information?
I personally don't have much information, but to the older lady that you talked to, the same tome that she showed you mentioned that there was a roll, if she remembers this actually. She mentioned that there was a balance, that balance that she talked about with these positive forces and these negative forces. She talked about our world being sort of this neutral place where no one force had an overwhelming presence over the other, and I assume that the water elementals that have been fighting the undead are emissaries or soldiers of the positive elements. That's my best guess.
Do you think we could try capturing one to ask it more questions? You've spoken to a water elemental before, have you not, Captain?
Yes, but I don't know if capturing it is the best.
Why not?
Because you don't want a positive thing become a negative thing.
I fail to see how that would happen. If we find one of these as it manifests and aid it in battle, I am sure you will be able to interrogate it.
You confuse me sometimes, Solomon.
Do we not need more information? These are the very forces that we seek to ally ourselves with, are they not?
Yes.
So let us destroy some of those that threaten it and ask it questions.
Okay.
There's your little combat for this end of the session. What if we
That's how you think of capturing people?
It's an elemental. I see no reason not to.
It's a paraphrasing. Don't worry about it.
No, I get it.
Point being, what if we had a little combat where we just sort of went out as a little foray into these enemy forces? You get to shoot something, I get to go pfft, and you get to talk to a water elemental that might give you more information. All we have to do is hold off some infinite waves of zombies for a while. And tentacles, which would probably kill us instantly. Or we can not do that and just keep planning stuff.
You think we're going to fit that into half an hour?
Okay, never mind. Let's keep going.
I suppose we probably shouldn't do that because we don't have time. There's all these sick people here. Imagine getting sick.
What was that?
What was that?
Nothing.
Put your faceplate back on.
Give me a goddamn screwdriver.
Oh, actually, put that back on. He only takes off in the mornings.
Yeah.
Still squints at things. Like he's trying to do something to him.
Well, the Wandering Star leaves with the sick and the injured, returns a few hours later, having dropped them off at the keep.
Can I spend the day that we've got here, I suppose?
You're not spending a day here. I thought the plan was that you're
We're not.
heading straight to the fight.
'Cause
Okay,
you
so
said
it's
you were
gone there
gonna-
and back. I see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool, got it. Never mind. All good.
That's like a 2-hour trip, round trip, so
How far is it to where we're going from here?
about half a day's travel.
Okay.
How are people feeling? Do we need a short rest at all?
Yeah, we haven't done
I
it.
mean,
Long
I
rest,
know,
so, yeah.
I know. I'm just saying.
You need a short rest, Captain. Are you a little bit...
Emotionally, yeah.
Cranky?
Yeah. Emotionally, mentally, yeah.
I
Would you
not-
like your bottle?
I do not sleep.
I do not understand. I'd like to talk to Teely for a brief moment. This is gonna seem very out of left field, but I need your help with something.
Did I hear you wrong?
Do you want me to repeat it?
There's not that much animosity between you two, is there?
There is now.
I need your help with something.
You're here
The
for
word
my rape.
To just hello?
I just never imagined you saying that. Of course.
Would you be able to describe to me what the giant looked like?
The storm giant.
You see, I want to send a thank you to them. Because without them, I technically wouldn't physically be awake.
That's,
But I don't know what they look like.
that's a good idea. They didn't really like us doing it. Any positive message might have them on our side. I think she... what did she look like? It was like a
She was part
giant...
storm, wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean,
giant driven person.
yeah, you described the appearance of the
Yeah.
giant to Trey.
Okay. Can you just hold out your hand for me for a second? And I'm going to place like an envelope that has a few like different types of flowers within it on top. And then I'm going to, I just need, if you think about that for a second, I'm hoping that it will send to the right place. And I will put my hand on top of the letter and try to send the letter off to the storm giant.
Okay. The letter vanishes. Whether it arrives at its intended destination, it just says, "Hey, you whelp."
No, I'm going to tell you what it says.
No.
Is this Kanos' doing?
I think so.
You just
Whether it's only him nowadays, I am not sure.
You've just always been able to do this?
For a few years,
Very interesting.
it feels like it's one of the only good things that I have.
There can be much more.
Well, with that, are you guys heading to the swell?
That's the plan. Okay. Do we have a quartermaster on board now that you're not there?
So it is split between
Yeah, it's
Lapis and
me
Tilly.
Tilly and Lapis.
And who is head of personnel or first mate? Is that me?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Just checking. Very well, first mate duties enacted. Can I spend the time getting ready to batten down the hatches and making sure that everyone on board has a safety line, basically? So in the same way that you prepare a ship in the storm, anyone who's above decks is going to be lashed on. So when they move, it might be a bit slower, but they won't get blown off immediately.
Sounds good.
Or yanked off.
Is the plan for us to stay atop the ship during this battle?
Haven't figured that out yet. We'll do it when we figure out what we're looking at.
I'm going to be in the ocean. I will let you know that now.
Good on your swim, girl.
You want to speak?
I can swim.
I got to get to
I
the
can swim
source,
very well.
right?
Yeah,
What's the
that's
point of
swimming
being
speed.
on a ship?
Swimming speed,
It's-
climbing
it's
speed, all
down
that
there.
shit. Wow.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be on the ship, but it's more a case of seeing what we're up against and then formulating a plan in the next 5 seconds. That doesn't take 30 minutes of discussion, which will involve Trey jumping in.
Water time.
As you guys make your way towards the swell, the central nexus of these increasingly dangerous waves. I assume you're still flying. You're not like using the ship as
Definitely not.
Well, I didn't.
Do you remember the last time that happened? Tywin almost turned
This
into a
time,
fish
3
person.
tentacles.
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you could have been breathing water this entire time.
That was literally crazy. But anyways,
That was literally.
I love how then like
Literally
a few sessions
crazy.
later, Tywin almost turned into a slug as well.
yep.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You're welcome,
Remember that
friend.
mind dragon?
I swear.
I've done a lot of good things for Tywin this
We've done so many
campaign.
sessions, and my memory is so bad with this
Tywin-
stuff.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many things that people
You
have said
failed,
this
you
session
failed to
that I
save to that
just
one
do
dragon
not
and then
remember.
died, and the things basically ate your brain. But Trey was like, "Wait, no!"
Well, yeah.
literally anamorphosis or whatever. Epoxy.
As you make your way towards the swell, you can see these dark shadows, silhouettes under the water, these large tendrils that reach out towards the mainland. But the actual when you arrive at the swell after your half-day travel there, you find it is not really a swirling vortex. It's just kind of like you've got the surface of the water tumultuous, and then it just dips down, creating like this kind of like column of lack of water heading straight down.
Wait, there's a chasm in there?
Not a chasm, but more
A
like
whirlpool.
a whirlpool, but without the swelling. It's just water that.
Yeah, it's basically it's like some portal at the bottom. It's just
Is it like in Minecraft when they have that one thing without water and it's just air?
Kinda.
okay.
Not big enough for the ship to go down with you.
Do we see any really big
What if we
teeth
nosedive
that
it?
might be eating them?
Any big teeth?
How high in the air are we flying?
I would say like definitely high enough that the tentacles can lash you. So
Would it hurt?
yes.
Do we have
What?
like an approximate like feet off the ground?
I would
Is
say
No. I cast
like
it.
from where you are to right down to the bottom, or just to the water.
Just to the water, I guess.
To the water, I'd say you're about 150 feet up.
Okay.
And is there still like tentacles coming out of the water in this?
Not out of the water. They're like traveling underneath the water towards the mainland.
Okay.
Does it look like there's like a certain amount, or does it keep growing?
There is a fixed amount, but like when one eventually like there is like you've seen when you were airborne, there was some resistance, and every time one falls, there's a few that grow back elsewhere.
So the tentacles, I imagine, like there's a bunch of them, and they're at sort of like different elevations. Like some might be sticking out of the water a bit. Can I see any that might be within 90 feet of?
Literally, my
Roll a
my
perception check.
brain. My brain. You can roll it in here if you want.
No.
Like, I don't
It's
mind.
okay. For a second, I almost just took over everything you have. I think that's a 15.
Okay.
Let me just double check. Perception. That's a 16.
From where you are, none within 90 feet. No.
Okay.
What's 90 feet important for again?
I don't know. Just a random number I came up
So
with.
how far are like the dark shadow tendrils, like the ones that are still underwater then?
They'd be about 15 to 20 feet beneath the water level, so about 170 feet away from you.
What don't I need?
Do you want something to throw? Solomon hands you a hammer.
And I chuck it as hard as I can.
Roll a attack roll. Since you're using it at range, I guess you'll add your dex modifier.
You can throw hammers with strength if you want. Either way, it's probably disadvantage because it's got a range of like 30 feet.
Yeah, it will be a disadvantage.
So I do it.
8.
Okay.
Right.
Into the water.
Did you just... I made that.
Okay.
You have 400 of them.
We gotta bait
And
it
they are
out.
all sacred works adorned to payload. These take some
You want
time,
me to
Tywin.
bait-
You
you
have
wanna
several
bait-
Solomon,
arrows.
I'll make you a new one. We
Shoot
gotta
them
bait
away.
the tendril out.
Do you name your hammers?
And my crossbow.
No.
I'm gonna try.
Do you want help naming them?
To bait it out.
No.
Tyler's good at naming things.
What's the range of your crossbow?
That's a good question.
What crossbow did you have?
This one. Range 30,
And what's the
Do you want
small
to waste
number?
the spell slot fixing the
120
spell?
feet.
No.
Okay, so attack at disadvantage.
What are we doing? We're just trying to get dangerous. Wait, is this a kraken? Are we about to try and fight a kraken with an airship?
Not in the airship.
We're not throwing.
Is that
I'm
plus-
not in the
plus
airship.
DC?
You are at the moment.
Is that plus
I won't be.
DC?
We're not
You're
fighting with
tied
the
on.
airship.
I'm
We're
not
just
tied on.
fighting
First
it.
mate
We
said
will
tie
lower
yourself
dice.
up.
I didn't tie myself
That's
up.
about
The first mate's
22.
very attentive to this
Because I
sort of
rolled a
thing. It's
14
about
and
safety
I am
and
the
procedure.
captain.
Well, while you guys squabble amongst yourselves, Lapis pulls out a crossbow and fires a bolt at the tendril.
I want to make this, but I don't want to make this an impulsive thing. I
The
wanna-
tendril that's out
She threw a hammer at it. You can't be
Yeah.
more impulsive.
or under the water?
There isn't one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you fire at the nearest tendril underneath the water. It sails through the air. Even at disadvantage, you hit roll damage.
Oh, let's go.
She says,
my-
"You trying
You
to bait it
taught
out."
her
Training.
well. That's my
You watch her pull it out.
trainee.
You watch her pull out a crossbow. Are you trying to bait it out? Watch this. And that is what we want to
Bait it out. Is it gonna rise up out of the water and just float up to us?
That's what I'd like, so I can jump down and not hurt myself.
That's a 10.
10?
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
10 damage?
Max, let's go.
Yeah, you watch this crossbow bolt sailing through the air and then hit one of like the suckers directly. You watch it flail about and it tries to like lash out at the ship, missing.
Here we go. When it gets close to the ship, I'm gonna jump and
When
try
it
and
gets close to
land
the ship,
on
can I hunter's mark it?
The tentacle?
Yeah.
No, me.
It's part of a creature,
Oh.
isn't it? Or is it not? That's kind of the question that I was trying to figure out.
The tentacles are disembodied.
If it's one of the body parts of a creature, then I have hunter's marked the creature.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay, sure. You hunt mark the tentacle.
Good job.
Okay,
The-
cool.
Well,
Can I try to now use my perceptive skills and stuff to track with the creature?
well, here's the thing. The core of the creature is beneath you, but like the hunter's mark gives you a ping of all encompassing it.
Oh boy.
But I can. So yeah, now I get a good
Now
sense
it's
of like
loud.
how wide it's stretching and stuff, right?
Is
Yeah.
it just the one creature attacking all of Naya?
It's the one. Well, yes.
So it seems like now it feels like all of these tentacles are coming from the same creature.
Yeah.
And it's one creature. How far below us does it seem to go? Like where's it sitting? Where's its ass?
I'd say about
It's fine. It's fine and good.
300 feet beneath you.
300 feet below us. Okay.
And you jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
300
Roll
feet starting.
roll an acrobatics.
I was in the middle of tying you up.
Let's
Roll an acrobatics check.
go.
Yeah, so you get Solomon under one arm and just.
Acrobatics check.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, if it's 300 feet beneath us, but we're flying 150 feet.
13.
It's 100
so
feet,
it's,
50
so it's
feet beneath the waves.
150
13.
feet long. Yeah.
No.
Isn't that what you said? Because you were saying we're flying.
It's 150 feet of ocean underneath.
Oh, okay, okay.
Wait, it's 150 feet underneath the water, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, but where's the bottom of it? That's what I was asking.
the bottom of it
Yeah.
is, as I said, like 150 feet beneath the water. Now it could be this tall and sitting at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
150
So I'm just asking how big is the thing?
Oh.
How tall is it?
I don't think Hunter's Mark tells you how tall something is.
Well, if I can tell like where it is and I can see where it starts.
I'll have to look at the scale of this mini.
Oh my god.
About 150 feet.
Yeah, you kind of know where it isn't, so you can kind of.
That's what
work
I'm-
out,
that's what I'm
like,
saying.
Reaching the
All
What,
the
what kind of
13.
space it takes up?
13.
If it's
Okay.
reaching
You
the
latch
shore from
onto the
here.
tentacle and you begin sliding down. It tries to throw you off. I need you to roll a strength check to hold on.
Is that a spelljammer box? Is this a spelljammer creature?
No, no, no. This is just me. using
This is
the
just
box
a really big
box.
box.
14.
14. Okay. It doesn't
It's
manage
just
to...
strength, right?
Yeah.
Can I please cast Bless on Trey as she dives off the
Oh,
ship?
my
I'm like,
Might as well bless me while you're at it.
yeah, it's
No.
you, me, and...
Yes!
Wait, who's closest?
Well, I mean,
Me?
you're donating money, so surely I'll bless
Yeah,
me.
we've done, yeah. New Trey.
Well, I've got another week to paint it, but I guess I'll show you the...
Oh,
Ooh.
That's not all. That's not all.
stunning. Oh, I love.
She is beautiful.
What the fuck is this eldritch bullshit?
She is stunning.
Guys, if you'd just given me a day, then I could have banished Teely and this thing.
No. You got no time.
Painting, yeah.
Yeah, these are the ones that I finished.
That's really good.
That's very good.
This is very cool.
And then these ones I just base coated.
Okay.
So, there you go. This is... That's the scale.
This is important.
That's the scale?
That's the scale.
Okay.
Lapis is going to be
Does
like,
that help?
Well, yeah, that's just like 20 feet tall, something like that.
I'm not
do it.
inside,
You
I'm
do it.
outside.
Well, actually, I mean, are we to assume there's more body under there?
Yes, this
Okay, so
because
then-
this is this bit here is meant to represent her bursting out of the waves.
Yeah, so it's like she's like 40 feet, 35 to 40 feet tall, roughly.
So,
If I had
Lapis,
banishment, we just.
Banish me.
Banish Trey.
I would actually banish Trey right now. It'd be a lot easier than this bullshit.
so upon realizing that you've obviously dove and leapt off, Lapis is gonna look everyone and go, are we all going
not
on?
going on, is she?
Are you going?
I'm trying to keep crew morale up as they
Just for
just watched
flavor,
their captain
Lapis is
jump
gonna
off their
quickly
ship.
change so that
Yes, but they've seen their captain jump off the ship several times.
Yeah, but
Yes,
not-
that is true.
This isn't even the
I
second
literally,
time this has
they
happened.
Okay,
they
guys.
don't even put.
just for flavor, Lapis is gonna come back and change that all her gills are just like in the open and ready. She's gonna be like, are we going in? Because I am. The only way to fight this thing is going in, right?
I mean, I'll fight from up here for now, but if push comes to shove, I'll jump straight down there with you.
Alright.
I will let you know with your above average intelligence.
Still
You've seen
goes
people
in
destroy these tentacles; they just go back. Fighting it from up here will not be viable. Like I'm telling you that as the DM as well.
But can't I hit the main body from here?
The main body isn't up here. I'm
She's
just
not
showing you the
there
main.
Yeah, no, I know, but like,
You can't see the main body from where you are.
I'm gonna yell out, Trey,
Actually, I think they
can
can't
you
see
hear me?
How far away am I?
You're like sliding down the table, probably about 50, 60 feet down now.
Would I be able to hear them?
Yeah.
I can actually potentially.
With my thaumaturgy. Yeah.
With
Oh, yeah.
with thaumaturgy, I'm
Stop
gonna yell,
sliding me out from it.
can I come with you?
Why are you asking permission?
I don't know.
We got to attack it at the head. And my goal is to try and get to the part where it goes
Yeah.
like down.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I'm good at survival shit. It's not actually survival shit, but will I hurt myself if I jump into the water from here?
A little bit, probably. A little.
Lapis,
A little, but not.
You could probably avert it by rolling some sort of acrobatics check.
Okay,
Lapis is
Then
going
fuck it.
to stand.
You jump?
I'm gonna quickly. Sorry, I will let you do your thing. I don't mean to
because
interrupt.
I'm about to jump in. But
Well, I'm just
Lapis-
asking you who's jumping. So.
Lapis is standing there. Her gills open in anticipation. She screams, "This bitch aquatic!" And she's going into the water.
You jump?
Yes!
Do you try to grab the table, or
Yes!
are you just jumping straight for the water?
Just going straight for the water.
Okay. Do you want to roll me
I love
a
her.
acrobatics check at advantage
I love
because you're aquatic?
Lapis.
Got a beautiful,
This bitch
beautiful
aquatic.
SWAT
This
die.
bitch
Yeah, like a big-
aquatic!
I looked
Advantage
up,
acrobatics.
I looked up the like the highest someone's jumps just to see if it makes sense. Oh, shit, that's a 19.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yes. You watch Lapis run, jump.
Perfect
swan
dive. There's not even a splash afterwards. You
Just
get
a-
tens from the diving committee.
You watch Lapis sail past you. Perfect nosedive straight into the water.
I just get onto the edge of the ship and I look down and I just take a deep breath. I focus myself, and you can almost see, like, as I focus, there is like a little bit of like vaguely magical energy surrounding me as I'm focusing myself, and I'm giving myself temporary hit points before I jump down with tireless.
Can Solomon make a dive for you to try and grab you?
I mean, does someone do that? Because I'm jumping.
Solomon watches Trey go off and goes, "What?" Solomon watches Lapis go off and goes, "Oh shit!" Turns around to see Tywin preparing.
Roll initiative.
Alright.
Because old girl can just run to the bottom. You can see.
11.
Solomon got a natural 1. 2.
Ooh.
Let me just
Hooray!
check something quickly.
As you lumber over.
Here we fucking go!
Do I make contact with them at all?
No, with a natural one.
From
You're
Solomon's other side, I will jump in. There's not much I can do from up here.
I swipe at Tywin and
Do
miss.
not try this at home,
Can
everybody.
can I swipe at Teely, please?
okay. Roll. I would like not initiative.
I
I
get
want you to
6
roll
temp points.
athletics or acrobatics, and then you two.
Would you like me
roll
to control water
athletics.
so it's a smaller drop for you?
No, fine.
Solomon cries.
I've got so
and
much
turns
HP
to
and I have a
Valentine.
temper.
That is true, you are the
Not
tank.
20 with a 28.
I got like a. It's not a 28. It's like a.
Is that close?
We love
With
water,
your plus
kids.
one.
We love water.
Solomon lumbering around the ship like, fuck! Stop it! Stop jumping!
Do I make
You
contact with
suicidal
any of them?
maniacs!
With a 28 versus your, 13? No.
You can see his hands are glowing like mad. He's desperately trying to at least touch you before you go overboard.
Solomon turns around to the altar and just gives her puppy
Okay,
eyes and be like, please.
Do not move.
To set, do you jump as well?
Oh, can you flick the camera?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my heart.
He's just trying to give you his death ward.
No.
To set the scene,
Never.
Trey jumps off the ship, grabs onto the tentacle, slides it down.
Like she
Solomon
doesn't
goes,
call
"What?"
that already.
Then Lattice jumps off. Perfect one dive. You take 11 points of damage, half to 5.
No points of damage, half to nothing.
Can I acrobatic checks from the two of you?
You're blessed. No, it doesn't matter.
Well, that
Check,
same
not a
one I
save.
rolled.
No. This is different. This is to acrobatic checks from the two of you.
13.
Good.
Okay. Not as graceful as Lapis, but still avoiding the brunt of the damage.
That's
You
good.
take
23. Holy
23. Okay. You will take 14 points of damage, and you will take 7. As the 4 of you jump on the ship. Remaining 2 of you, what are you doing?
I'm gonna look at Solomon.
I don't know how to swim.
And I cannot. It appears we have made the wise decision to stay on board. As it stands, and Solomon just bellows to the crew, prepare arms! We will support them as we can.
And do we have like a gangplank out the front of the ship or something?
Sure.
I need something. I need a figurehead. Solomon's gonna go be the figurehead for a bit, and I'll turn command over to the official command over to Rosalind while he bellows orders back and forth.
I will heal myself a bit, but for now.
Okay.
How close are the tentacles to one another?
They're quite tightly knitted, and there's heaps of them at the
So
side.
how close together are they?
Probably
Is it jumpable, essentially?
like from tentacle to tentacle?
Yeah.
Well, there's only one tentacle sticking out that you're sliding down.
Yeah.
So there's no tentacles above the water right now.
Okay. Okay.
How far again did you say
Interesting.
the tentacles? So we're hovering how high above the water?
You're 150. So water, 150 feet up is you.
Yeah.
And then, according to Tywin's Hunter's Mark, 150 feet below the water is where the.
So 300 feet is the closest of anything, is it?
Yeah, the main body is
that's really annoying.
200 feet down.
Cool.
Okay.
And the tentacles are at least some stupid height, aren't they?
170 feet away from you. Well, except the one that's holding, that Trey's sliding down.
No, as in there, how high do we think that they'll go above the water? Or we don't know.
You guys are skimming where it would just miss you.
Yeah, it got close, very close to the ship.
So there's 150 feet of water downwards.
Yes.
So that would not reach the bottom. Okay.
But as you guys continue descending down, you slide down the tentacle. The 3 of you swim further, deeper and deeper. You can see this column of air that heads straight down towards some sort of central nexus.
What about breathing for you two?
Well, you said it was a column of air, right?
Well, the column of air, if you
If you're just
stick your
surface
head,
swimming,
if you stick your head out into the column of air, you'll basically be pulled in between 2 separate currents, an air current and a water current, which would do damage to you. So you can replenish your air there, but it will do damage to you.
Yeah, and I've got a swimming speed of 35 feet, so I'm
ripped in half, doesn't
I
it?
can
Not ripped in half.
I can
but
swim down
definitely
pretty quickly.
hurts. You will.
Before Tywin gets
stretched.
too far ahead of me.
I also have the amulet of health, which means I can hold my breath for a long fucking time.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
before Tywin gets too far ahead of me, once I'm near enough to these, everyone in the water, I'll cast telepathic bond with a spell slot.
Okay,
since
good.
Because we had no time to prepare.
Yeah. Oh, we did, but we just didn't.
Yeah.
We had 12
we
hours
literally
to
were like,
prepare.
we're going to prepare for the next half an hour, and followed by.
Can't communicate with anyone on the ship though with that, can you?
As I reach.
If I cast that before, I could have.
Okay, so telepathic bonds happen, right?
Yeah.
I can get rid of quite a lot of this water if we need to.
It's the ocean.
Yes.
Quite a lot of means nothing in that context. It'll just go.
I mean, I can move it and
Okay,
hold it there
that's
for a
better.
little
There you
while.
Is it possible? Are we in a container of any kind, an open container? I can destroy up to 10 gallons if you want.
I don't think this
That's cute.
That'd be nice, but
Lapis will essentially
I can essentially
Part
move
part the water.
part 100 feet of this.
Well, what are your con modifiers? What are your con modifiers? The four of you.
We don't need to breathe.
4 or whatever.
2
Plus
plus
one.
4.
We don't need to breathe.
Ah, yeah, and then the two of you. You can just swim indefinitely and you don't need to breathe. Yes.
So mine's like 5 minutes of breathing or something,
6
right?
minutes. 1 plus your con
Yeah.
mod. So no, 5. Yes.
Yeah, 5.
So 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not sure if you were doing anything exerting. It's like
Harder.
fighting. It's like much shorter.
Yeah.
So
Right now I'm just swimming.
well, as you head further and further, the lights begin to dim of the ambient lighting of the sky. The only person who really has any sort of ability to see in that depth, at that depth, is you.
Let's go, Lapis! You're
You
our
see-
guide.
you see these still in grayscale, like these the depths of the ocean. As the light from the sky begins to dim, your eyes automatically just adjust to the darkness beneath the water.
Dark mode on.
You find yourself at the current floor of whatever this region is, of this water, just looking around, and you see where that column of air descends into the ocean. In front of you is an opening to some sort of underwater cavern.
I will relay that to the party.
People on the ship would have no idea.
I have the sending stone.
Okay.
So once
Yep,
we're able to talk, I can let them. I can
what was
make
the
them
size
aware.
of this chasm in the water again?
It would be like a cylinder of 10 feet radius,
Okay.
so 20-foot diameter.
Am I going in? I think.
I was hoping the whatever we were fighting would be here, but it seems to be.
Well, you haven't entered the chasm yet, but that is where the tentacles are emerging from.
Yeah.
I'm following
Can
the
you
creature.
look?
I'm going towards where it is.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I would be heading there. So.
Well, as you,
Alright, I'll bring the airship down lower.
Okay.
And everyone's battle stations.
well, the cavern, as it heads down and then out into like a proper cavernous area, you being the first to enter Lapis would see this sort of creature like facing away, looking at like a hastily like a large piece of parchment, with a map of Naya scratched onto it.
How big
They-
is this thing?
It's reading a map.
That's the scale. So
That's
relative
to
our,
scale.
relative to our characters.
So it's like 35 to 40 feet
Tall.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to. I want to be really sneaky and hide, but watch what she's doing.
Okay. Well, roll a stealth check.
And I'm going to.
There
with
ain't
my
gonna
head-
be any stealth once I get there,
I'm
bud.
going
So
to-
good
I'm
luck.
going to automatically tell Buff, like, whatever you do, don't try anything, because I don't know what she's doing, but I don't want to immediately attack. Oh.
Can't get less than something or other. Remember?
Correct.
That's true.
You can't get less than 10 if it's colored.
Can't get less than a 10. So it's 10 plus 11, 21.
Good.
7.
Okay. You peek around the corner, and she seems to be deep in, like, focused on something. You don't know what she's focusing on, but she seems focused.
See? You can read minds, right?
Technically.
Because I'm a mind bender and all.
And you can.
You're talking to all of us right now.
Or you can't talk to one person.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
Very telepathic bonding.
If
We're
you
just in
need
a
me
Discord,
to-
Discord
If you
meeting.
need me to close my ears, I can.
It would still be in your mind.
Look, it's the thought that counts, right?
If you can read minds and sneak, I want to know what she's thinking. She's got, and I'll just explain. She's got like the scratched map of Naya, and she's like doing something, but I don't know what she's doing. But I don't want to attack
I'll
until I know it.
like swim in beside Lapis and How far would she be?
She is from where you're standing, possibly about 60 to 70 feet in the room. This time.
Outside the range of detect wards.
Roll stealth check.
Yes. I could have made us invisible before this, but...
Could have done a lot of things before this, to be honest.
Oh, that is bad. 17.
Okay. The two of you also arrive now down at the same level, looking into this cabin.
That's bad. Rolls a 17.
Yeah,
a
that's
plus
bad.
12, okay.
17. What do I have?
I'm just floating there for now.
So, are we all, like, down here?
Yes, you are now all on the same level within.
You have about a minute before I start doing shit. And I'm saying
What's
that.
taking
Yeah, I
you
mean-
so long?
I'm saying that
You just got lost
nicely.
on the way?
You know?
Well, she came down via
but-
tentacle, whereas these guys swam down, so she was like
It's easy
repelling,
for
like
you two to say,
stopping
like,
and
let's
starting.
not do anything rash when we're running out of air, and you two aren't.
Yeah.
Tentacles.
No. So the cavern opens up into like a pocket of air.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Wait, so have we reached that yet?
Yeah. Well, no, like you're on the precipice of that, so you
Okay.
can enter.
The tentacle's just extending towards Naya, and you're climbing along it and not actually moving anywhere.
I feel like this journey's really
I need now
long.
the two of you to roll stealth checks as well.
Yes! I'll make us all invisible.
Okay. Well, then at advantage.
Let's make it sound nice. Kind of.
That's my last fix.
Stealth?
I hope that was a good idea.
I got a 31.
16.
You see this figure turn around, examining. I know you're evil. Make yourselves known.
Gotta slow down,
Tasty morsels. Show yourself.
Now we're able to walk, right?
Yes.
That's when...
I'm not going to draw them out now,
I
but
pull out the
Yeah.
sending stone.
Well, that's tasty, which means
There's a cabin down
which
here.
means that
We found
we
the
kill
head.
her.
I
Good
wish
luck.
to not be tasty.
And I am going to
I
run
don't
in a
trust
direction
that
that's
someone who calls me
opposite
tasty is gonna
everyone else.
be friends with us.
Because I think I'm. It
Well, yeah,
doesn't matter to
like
me.
Serpentine sort of thing.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that everyone else can kind of have a moment to try and move and do what they need to do. And I'm going to start running around, but towards this.
I will sneak
Beam.
closer to her.
okay.
I've also pulled out the sending stone. I've let them know. I said good luck, and then I put it away. So they know about that. There's a cabin down here, and that we found the head.
I'm going to sneak somewhere where I can shoot but still be kind of still.
Well,
I'm gonna make a wisdom save now. Because
with
I at
that,
least like to try. It succeeds. So at least I've got my head for next session.
Got a bless.
It hasn't attacked you.
As I said, someone will die. It might be me.
well, with that, we will end tonight's session.
Do you know this bitch? What's going on?
Arriving at the precipice of this water cabin.
I don't care who it is.
It's threatening now.
Yay!
I don't know what's going on.
That was good timing. I like it.
we're gonna go investigate.
Now, Jordan, what game would you like to recommend us all?
I don't think I've done Fire Emblem, so I might recommend Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I just finished.
A week and a half ago or so. And I know Fire Emblem Engage just came out, I haven't played it. But Fire Emblem Three Houses is a game that I really, really enjoyed. Essentially, it's a turn-based strategy game. So it's sort of like a board game in a way, in a video game form. But in Three Houses, you become a professor at this academy that has 3 different houses, sort of like a Hogwarts type thing where it sorts you into houses. And you choose which class you want to teach, and then you go and do all this crazy war stuff while teaching these students. And it's a very entertaining game because the combat is a lot of fun and the relationships between the characters are very interesting and great. And I got very emotional during the epilogue when it was telling me where all the characters ended up. So I got very attached to the characters. But it was a lot of fun, and all three, like, depending on what house you choose, you know, you follow a slightly different story. And so it's pretty interesting to see the twists and turns that happen in the different stories. I'm currently doing my second playthrough, and it's pretty fun because there's a lot of good characters. So definitely recommend Three Houses. I've heard Engage is good as well, but Engage apparently is better in gameplay, but not as good in the character relationship stuff, which is what I like. And yeah, it's got some good mechanics. Very Persona 5-esque in its like social mechanics. So if you like Persona 5, it's the cool kind of that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us for another stream. Please make sure to follow us on Twitch, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to our social medias, which is DiceRevDND. And you can find out when exactly we're streaming. But join us next time as we fight a big aquatic bitch.
The best episode we'll have.
Best episode we'll have.
Look,
episode 69.
Why are we doing underwater combat? Because in episode 69 you need to be wet.
Thanks for watching. Goodbye.